Don't wait until the IRS attacks your wages, bank account, your home or pension, and even your Social Security check. Tax Alliance specializes in IRS tax relief programs, including the Fresh Start Initiative, which can finally free yourself from IRS debt. Their tax professionals can file returns, fight the IRS to substantially lower your IRS debt, or possibly even have it forgiven. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, or have a payment plan and are still frustrated, call 800-987-1097. That's 800-987-1097.
Tax Alliance, your tax resolution solution.
Wildfires are still raging in the West.
In New Mexico, at times it might seem there are fires everywhere.
We have 5 active fires in 6 New Mexico counties.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has asked the White House to declare it a disaster, which would free up financial assistance. The largest of the fires in the northeast part of the state is actually a combination of 2 fires that have now grown together.
It is only 20% contained.
Thousands have been forced to leave their homes. The fires are being fueled by warm, dry, windy weather. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
The Washington Post reports officials at Smithsonian's National Zoo believe a fox that gnawed a hole in metal mesh surrounding an outdoor flamingo yard killed 25 birds and a northern pintail duck. The director tells the Post the fox was probably trying to provide for its kids. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Here's football star Tony Romo for Skechers Max Cushioning Footwear.
You know when you go to your kid's game, you have to sit on some comfortable, super hard bleachers? That's how I feel now when I wear regular shoes. Why? Because once I started wearing Skechers Max Cushioning, it's spoiled with how amazing extra cushioning feels. Skechers maxed out the cushioning with a thick, comfy slice of super light Ultra Go cushion. They're soft, they really feel every step.
See all the fashionable styles of Max Cushioning at the Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
At Rock and Roll Sushi, you can expect flavors that'll rock your taste buds to their core. We're the original American-style sushi experience, founded on great food, true love, and rock and roll. Founded in Mobile, Alabama, and then carried across the Southeast to over 50-plus locations. We're prepared to deliver sushi and hibachi how it's meant to be amplified. Rock and Roll Sushi brings concepts and flavors that are big, bold, and loud. Stop into any location to experience the rock you love and the rolls you love with the ones you love. You can even take the rock with you. Order carry out online or really turn the volume up on your next gathering with Rock and Roll Sushi platters. Now, and a new vibe. 2 great locations to serve Montgomery on Taylor Road and Dexter Avenue. Come see why we're the crowd favorite today.
And we're offering you another sweet deal from Rock and Roll Sushi. Starting Friday, April 29th at 8 a.m., head to this station's website to get $50 of Rock and Roll Sushi for just $25. Just click Sweet Deals.
By Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
The Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches is hosting a children's charity golf tournament on May 12th at Arrowhead Country Club. The Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranch is a 501c3 charity founded by the Sheriffs of Alabama in 1966. They provide long-term loving homes for abandoned, abused, and neglected boys and girls across the state of Alabama. For more information on the ranches or the golf tournament, visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres.
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Your WSFA First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blinds, shades, and shutters. Shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code RADIO at checkout. Blindster.com.
Yet again, a summer-like day on the way. Temperatures head for the upper 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. 20% chance of a pop-up shower or storm. So like yesterday, a lot of us stay dry, but that chance is there. It will be humid. Tonight, it's humid again. We're down into the mid and upper 60s. For Thursday, 90 sun and clouds, likely dry, and then rain and storms with a severe threat, a small threat on Friday. That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking pretty good as far as accidents go. Nothing's being reported that would send you on an alternate route. There is road construction going on 85 southbound at 65 interchange. Left lane is closed or is just now opening up at 6 a.m. So please use caution. Traffic slow south on 85 approaching the interchange. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. You can also see their entire inventory and shop online at ReinhardtToyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Selecting the best choice for tires can be confusing with all the brands and options available. Trust the #1 rated tire pros in Montgomery at Chico's Auto Pros for your tire needs.
Good morning, I'm Jasmine Williams of WSFA 12 News. Here's what's happening this Wednesday. The hustle and bustle from the presidential visit has come to an end in Pike County. Yesterday, President Joe Biden toured Lockheed Martin in Troy, a facility now known nationwide for producing missiles used to help Ukraine in its war against Russia. The president used the event to push for a bipartisan bill to bring home defense jobs. The nationwide manhunt continues for the Alabama corrections officer Vicky White and inmate Casey White, and now one official says the two had a romantic relationship. Vicky White and Casey White left the prison in Lauderdale County Friday. The two may be in a 2007 gold or copper Ford Edge. If you're along I-65 today, expect to see a lot of emergency vehicles. The Department of Transportation, the EMA, and others will be holding the annual Hurricane Lane Reversal Evacuation exercise. Traffic is not expected to be impacted during this event. I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
Shop the Rustic Furniture Outlet at American Oak and More.
Handmade solid wood rustic furniture at factory direct prices.
Up to 70% off every day.
How can we sell so cheap?
Because we are a direct outlet for the factory.
We have over 1,500 items in stock available for immediate pickup or have it delivered.
Plus, we have truckloads arriving weekly.
Bedroom suites, table and chairs, occasional tables, entertainment center, consoles, gun cabinets. If it's rustic, we got you covered.
The Rustic Furniture Outlet with Chapter Highway next to American Oak and More. This is Cody Wolf from American Oak and More. This is your special invitation to our 28th anniversary sale going on now. For a limited time, everything at American Oak and More's inventory catalog and special orders is 50% off the top tag price. That's right, half off. Living room, dining room, bedroom, home office, and outdoor. Interest-free financing available. Hurry, sale ends soon. Mattress accessories and cozy excluded.
I live in San for almost 30 years. You don't pay us fake money, so don't sell us fake wood.
Hi, this is Tom Latham with Penny Earning Concrete Technologies. For years, you've heard me talking about our concrete projects, from stamped and patterned concrete to foundations for commercial manufacturing, driveways to commercial parking lots, even heavily invested in polished concrete for durable and inexpensive long-term service. What you may not know is we have equipment for clearing lots for construction, clearing and ridding land of scrub and underbrush. We cut roads, clear fence lines, clear pond dams, and pretty much any application where land is overgrown. We have mulchers that can grind underbrush into shreds and return it to nature for compost. Our equipment is minimally invasive, not disturbing and upturning your property where additional grading might be necessary. To clean or clear your property, call Penny Earned at 334-284-9292. and let us transform your overgrown property into a manageable and productive one. Check us out on Facebook at Transformers or call 334-284-9292.
Hey, Montgomery, Prattville, and surrounding areas.
Check
Matt
us
Marshall,
out
Budget
on
Contract Sales. We're
Facebook.
all feeling the pinch. With everything going up, I'm sorry to say it, budget. we're gonna have
Good
to
morning,
pick a
everybody.
middle down
Hope this
sale.
day finds you
Raising it
well.
to a dime. Yep, that's right. One dime, one thin dime. It's dime time. Yep, it's dime time. If you've got a dime and some time, shop over 300 compact, mid-size, full-size luxury cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And if you're looking to sell your car, we're buying. And we'll buy it on the spot with no trade-in required. So keep us on your trade. We'll pay up to $456 over killing for most trades. And if credit problems in the past prevent you from driving a like new car today, we understand. My credit approval process will help you rebuild your credit and get you financed when others can't. We are Budget Car and Truck Sales. So if you've got a little time and a dime, visit us in Montgomery at 61.
If you got a dime and a little time.
508 McQueen Smith Road in Prattville. Check us out online,
Oh,
City of Montgomery
can't do the
Department of
job
Cultural
without
Affairs
these.
All Creative Minds. The department exists to engage, enlighten, and elevate a diverse, inclusive cultural arts community. They're committed to strengthening and showcasing organizational and individual cultural endeavors in our hometown. To advance this cause, they're seeking individual artists, artisans, advocacy groups, schools, and avid patrons of the arts. If this is you, visit montgomeryal.gov and click on the Cultural Affairs page to register to be part of Montgomery's creative community.
Got questions about your roof? Ripper Region Contracting has the answer. Google Ripper Region Contracting today or visit their website, ripperregioncontracting.com.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack.
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
If you wake up. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, and good morning again, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again, if you can. It is another day, believe it or not. Believe it or not, it is another day that you are here and that the God, the Lord of all things, has made. Good morning. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. Today's Daily Bread is simply entitled A Heart for Service. The scripture insight today comes from 2 Corinthians 9, 12 and 13, 12 to 13. 2 Corinthians 9 and 13 says, because of the service by which you have proved yourselves, others will praise God. Lead by example. And again, it is May the 4th. 2022 AD. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day that shall never ever come again. It is a once in a lifetime deal, and once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and do all the things that you should have done, and you certainly don't get a chance to come back and undo the things you do. So whatever it is that you do this day, May the 4th, 2022, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. There's no doubt in my mind, if you've lived a while, I've been here a while, you've been here a while, we have seen, we have heard many, many yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day. That is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, try to reach back and help somebody else along the way. While you can, as much as you can, until you can't. Benjamin Elijah May said, whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say if that is the standard by which you live your life each day, you will always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. After all, we all do. But you will never be a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest if you can. But you never, ever, ever give up. Because quitters don't win. And winners, oh, they may fail at a thing or two, but they don't quit. They keep going. Because all you have to do in life is get back up one more time, then you fall. And when the hills of life and the mountains of life go in your way, just ask for some help. If you can't get around it, go over it. If you can't get over it, go under it. And if you can't get under it, sometimes you got to go through the mountain. But there's always help. All you got to do is ask. Good morning to you, Montgomery. And remember this, it is a great day. May the 4th, 2022. It is a great day to be alive. A heart of service. That's our daily bread for this morning, May the 4th, 2022. Good morning to you, Montgomery.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Our reading, titled A Heart for Service, was written by Kimya Loader. A ministry in Carlsbad, New Mexico, supports their community by offering more than 24,000 pounds of free food each month to local residents. The leader of the ministry shared, "People can come here, and we will accept them and meet them right where they are. Our goal is to meet their practical needs to get to their spiritual needs. As believers in Christ, God desires for us to use what we've been given to bless others, drawing our communities closer to Him. How can we develop a heart for service that brings glory to God? We develop a heart for service by asking God to show us how to use the gifts He's given us to benefit others. In this way, we offer many expressions of thanks to God for the abundance He's blessed us with. Serving others was an important part of Jesus' ministry. When He healed the sick and fed the hungry, many were introduced to God's goodness and love. By caring for our communities, we're following His model of discipleship. God's wisdom reminds us that when we demonstrate God's love through our actions, others will praise God. Service isn't about self-gratification, but about showing others the extent of God's love and the miraculous ways He works through those who are called by His name. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verses 12 through 13. The service that you perform is not only supplying the needs of the Lord's people, but is also overflowing in many expressions of thanks to God. Because of the service by which you have proved yourselves, others will praise God for the obedience that accompanies your confession of the gospel of Christ, and for your generosity in sharing with them and with everyone else. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we want to make a difference in people's lives. Open our hearts to others in their need and help us to know how we can best serve them. May our acts of service to others be an act of praise and gratitude to you. Thank you, Lord. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thanks for listening today. My name is Tony Collier, and today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Alrighty then. All right. Where'd the bugler go? He left. All right, sorry about that. All right, let's keep on running. Keep running. Never yet. Down in the mess hall on my knees. We got nothing to eat but a can of beans. The bread was moldy and the meat was bad. Oh, you know darn well that you can't eat that. Here we go. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. All the way. When I was young, I always wanted to be in the 82nd Airborne, knees in a breeze. Now that I'm here, I'm gonna do it right. Jump from an aircraft while in flight. Oh! Driving on. Make a brother want to re-enlist. Driving on. In morning in the risen rain, and I picked up my parachute and boarded the plane. Jump master said 1 minute to go. Green light, red light, wouldn't blow. On the way, airborne, airborne, on the way, driving on, driving on. On the way, airborne, airborne, on the way, driving on, driving on. Here we go. All the way. Gotta be rough and tough. Airborne. All right, pick up the real list of papers in the mess hall after chat. All right then. Let us pay homage to all, every last one of our armed forces of the United States of America. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. And to all the people who go in when everybody else is running out. The Montgomery Fire Department, Montgomery Sheriff Department, the Montgomery Sheriff Department, Fire Department, and the Police Department, of course. I think the chief is finding. I think the chief has find this violence thing a little tough around here. Gonna put a boot in somebody's butt out there. Anyway, let me shut up. Anyway, good morning to the ambulance drivers and to all my trucker friends out there. Somebody yank that horn while you're going down Interstate 85 and 65 where I can hit. That's right. I like to hit. All right. I still love hearing horns. Okay. I'm just saying. Like a kid. I never really grew up. The United States Air Force. Good morning to Maxwell and Gunner Air Force Base. Our partners, well, in our service, in one of our service branches here in Montgomery, the Intellectual and Air University, where the smartest and the brightest personnel of the United States Air Force meet, greet, and figure out how to keep us safe. Good morning to you out there, people at Gunner and Maxwell. And to all the folks that from foreign countries in our city, welcome to Alabama. And it's not as bad as you thought it was, is it? I know. I'm still here. We call them jarheads and all other things too sometimes, but all in love. But we are known better as United States Marines. Their motto is Semper Fidelis, but we just cut it short. We said Semper Fi. Well, whether it's Semper Fidelis or Semper Fi, it all means the same thing. Always, always faithful. Don't you wish everybody was? Good morning, Montgomery, and to my Marines. But last but certainly not least, home of the 82nd Airborne, Fort Benning, Georgia, Fort Lewis, Washington, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and Fort Lost in the Woods in Missouri, and a bunch of other places. The United States Army. I don't even have to bring up the paratroopers because we know we special. I mean, you got to be special to jump out of an airplane. I mean, you certainly got to be special to jump out of an airplane in the dark of night, not knowing where the hell you are. But somebody hopefully knows. Somebody knows where we are. Woo! There was some nighttime jump sometimes. Brother didn't know where he was. Thought I was going in the river. And I did go to water one time, but thanks to the good Lord, brother made it out of there. Okay, I'm just saying, hanging out in the swamp, good. It's good. Wasn't too tall. Anyway, good morning to you. I'm feeling exceptionally well the last couple of days. I hope that's not a bad omen. I'm just feeling healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, maybe not so wise sometimes. You never have too much wisdom, do you? No, you don't. I was talking to somebody a few minutes ago. Melissa, over in Mix 103, and she's a lib. I mean, she's not really that bad of a lib, but she was sitting there talking. We were talking about. I told her what a miracle that a cow was, and she couldn't get that. I said, okay, well, think about this for a second. You got a brown cow, all right, eats green grass, and produces white milk. Now she told me there are other people that do, other animals do that. I don't know any. With goat, I don't know, but a goat ain't brown. A goat's white, so that's not unusual. But you got that. Anyway, she was over there, being the lib that she is. She says, well, I can't really. I love animals. Me too. She said, but I feel really bad when I have to eat them. So I brought to her attention. I mean, I'm just trying to keep it real here. I brought to her attention that if she was laying on the ground, they eat her. I'm just saying. I mean, now the other day I tasted lamb for the first time. Now I will admit to you that there was a middle anguish moment there about eating the poor little lamb, because every time I think of a lamb, you guys, I know you think of this. The first thing we think of is Mary had a little lamb whose feet was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was free to go. Okay, how do I remember that? So anyway, so you're right. When you crunch down on the lamb, it makes you feel a little bit guilty. So I probably won't be eating too much lamb, but it makes the brother feel bad. But again, if you were laying there on the ground and the lamb was hungry, he'll probably eat you. So that's how I reconcile. But that lamb was good. They got a restaurant downstairs. It's called New York something. I don't know what it's called. I don't want to give them too much free stuff. But Sunday was the first time I ever tasted lamb. I mean, now I don't know if it was good because of the way they cooked it, or it was good because lamb is just naturally good, but it was good. I mean, I'm feeling guilty now because I ate the little lamb and I just feel bad about it. But he did taste good. I mean, I'm just saying, he was pretty good. But anyway, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like she is feeling now, So, but we don't have no problem eating a hamburger. I mean, a hamburger used to be something else too. I'm just saying, we got some problem. All right, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do just for her because I gotta go to a break. Who's this? Okay. Well, that's all we can do is hold on. But Sunday I held on to that lamb, and he sure was good. Or she. I don't know if it was he or she, but now I'm feeling bad about it. See that? See, I shouldn't have talked to Melissa down there because I shouldn't have talked to her because now I'm feeling bad about eating the lamb. Man, boy, I tell you, things get rough sometimes around here. I mean, has anybody else out there ever eaten lamb? That's all I want to know. Have you ever tasted it before? I mean, it really is, it really is kind of good. But now I'm going to feel guilty the rest of the week because, there I was all right. Kind of like alcohol, I never tasted it. And probably once I taste it, I'm probably going to become an alcoholic. So I've decided, I've decided that I've just decided that I'm probably not going to have that drink of alcohol because my son, but I will go with him while he has a drink, okay, to celebrate my official coming into old personhood. So I'm gonna go sit with him, and he's gonna have a drink while I sit there and tell him about life. All right, that's what I'm just saying. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with the lessons of life and things of that nature. But I really did feel bad about eating that lamb. And see now talking to Melissa makes me feel even worse. But it sure was good. Anyway, I'll be back. You can make it through. Well, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just stand and watch the Lord see you through. Yes, after you've done all you can, you just stand.
Offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 45% off any order. Just use code radio at checkout. Blindster.com.
Yet again, a summer-like day on the way. Temperatures head for the upper 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. 20% chance of a pop-up shower or storm. So like yesterday, a lot of us stay dry, but that chance is there. It will be humid. Tonight, it's humid again. We're down into the mid and upper 60s for Thursday. 90 sun and clouds, likely dry, and then rain and storms with a severe threat, a small threat on Friday.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Nothing's being reported by the authorities to send anyone on an alternate route. No backups on the interstates. Everything's moving smoothly. Keep listening. We will keep you posted. Good credit, slow credit, doesn't matter. Call the A-Team at NCS in Wetumpka for a cash out, refinance, or an equity loan. NCS 567-9000. NMLS 232876. Buckle up. It's the law for Montgomery Skywatch Traffic. This is Major Delay.
Selecting the best choice for tires can be confusing with all the brands and options available. Trust the #1 rated tire pros in Montgomery at Chico's Auto Pros for your tire needs.
This is the Sean Hannity Show. Join me every afternoon at 2 right here on News Radio 1440.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MummyMensHealth.com.
If you're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief with what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com today and prepare for what's coming. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FREE for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's promo code FREE. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FREE for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code FREE for a $5 bonus.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
Okay. Don't you know what if I could?
Sentiva. Smith.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I got that part. I know what you're talking about there. Okay, I'm good. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds you well. Hey, no more calls. I'm busy right now, so no more calls. When I was taking them, you should have got in then. But now you got to wait till next hour. Sorry about that. What was I talking about before I left? Well, I got to get to the lessons of life and all that stuff right now. So no more calls right now. But I was in a gracious mood at that particular moment. Because that lamb thing just kind of got me Sunday when I was at the studio, and I went down there and got some lamb, and I felt guilty after I ate the lamb, and then I went down to see Melissa down there in Mix 103, and she made me feel guilty about eating the lamb, and because Mary had a little lamb, you know how it goes. I don't know, I just but that lamb sure was good. But now I won't ever eat any more of that because she made me feel guilty. But nobody feels guilty about eating a pig or a cow. I don't know. Anyway, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? Hope this day finds you well. Now it is time for my lessons of life. These are the things you learn by living. No other way. You can hear about them. You can hear about these things, but you really don't learn these things until you put some time in. In the military, we call it time in grade, which is TIG. Well, this is TIL. Time in life. There's some things you'll never understand until you actually live some. Okay, I'm just saying. And these are some of the things that you will learn. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, no calls right now, guys. Sorry about that. I know. See Ed messing up for everybody. Anyway, good morning. It is what is today? Today is May the 4th. As a matter of fact, I know tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, but this ain't Mexico. So I don't know why we do the Mexican thing. This is our day is the 4th of July, right? Okay. I know it's not our day because we wasn't included when it came up. I got that part, but I'm claiming it. Okay, I'm claiming it for my forefathers and for all the folks who called hell during that time, and yet we still rise, kind of like Maya Angelou said. Okay, I'm just saying we still rise. Word of the day. Word of the day means evil or flagrantly wicked or impious. I never heard that word before. Impious. I had to look that one up. But anyway, that's what the word means. So if you see this word on any evaluation, okay, any evaluation with your name on it, okay, and it has this word on it, you might as well go back to the office, grab your stuff, and get your resume kind of brushed up, because you will not be there long. I'm just telling you. So this is one of those words that you don't want to see anywhere near you. Okay. So here's the word. And again, the word means evil or flagrantly wicked or impious. Now, the word impious, I got to look that word up, because even though I'm a wordsmith, I don't really know what that means, but evidently it means the same thing as this word. And the word of today is, everybody all get together, listen closely, nefarious means evil or flagrantly wicked. So if you got a butthole in your classroom, excuse my language, and you need to go up to the teacher and say, Mr. Jones, Rod is nefarious, and there's nothing, it seems, I can do about it. He constantly bugs me, bothers me, blah, 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 blah. He is nefarious. Nefarious. Nefarious, which means evil. So again, if you have that word on any evaluation, you need to start looking for a new job, because you won't be there long. Okay. Now, the lessons of life. Lessons of life. I've often said that it is not that we as young people don't want anything. Even the millennials today. I don't know what the generation after millennials is going to be. Even them, it is not that they lack ambition, because we all are ambitious. It just depends on what our ambitions are centered on. But we all are ambitious. We all want something. Okay? That is not the problem. Okay? It is when we go from pillar to post, post to pillar, around the corner, back to the same pillar, and then we do it all over we do it all over again, going the opposite direction. Okay? So it is not that this generation, the millennial generation, is any different than we were at that age. We were the same. There's really nothing new under the sun, according to the Bible. It's just different day, same place. But herein lies the problem. And Benjamin Elijah Mays put it very succinctly, very clearly. And if we look back to our own lives, until we got this figured out, we were going from pillar to post and post to pillar and back around again the other way. And what did Benjamin Elijah Mays say? Benjamin Elijah Mays said, it must be borne in mind that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching a particular goal. The tragedy lies in having no goals to reach. In other words, if you don't have a destination in mind, you don't know where you are going to end up, because you don't know where to go. So I remember in school when we were coming up, we had real counselors who wasn't babysitters. Okay. And they talked to you. They looked at your test scores and see, now I'm not going to tell you what they told you I should do. We ain't gonna go there right now, but they was wrong. But they did give me some direction, something to think about. Okay. And that janitor job, well, you know, although nothing wrong with being a janitor, don't get me wrong. I think my aspiration was a little bit higher than what that counselor told me. But they did set me down. Now when she told me that, it kind of got me thinking. And that is one of the reasons why I believe test scores, when you use test scores to strictly try to determine a person's abilities, I think we may be doing our children a disservice sometimes. Because, well, let's just put it this way. Jenkins said in class they had an A group and a B group and a C group. Well, I was over there like in the D plus group because I wasn't paying school no attention. You know, I had more issues at home. Some days you go home with no food. Some days you go home, the lights were off. Some days you go home, I had to lift coal. Some day it was just, I had a rough coming up. But I'm not the only person that had a rough coming up. A lot of people had a rough coming up. So yeah, that's cool. But I'm just saying, so if I had listened to them, then you know, I'd be retiring right now with that mob. And that again, nothing wrong being a janitor if that's what you want to be. Okay, not something that you have to be. Okay. Anyway, let me say this one more time and get on today. It must be borne in mind that the tragedy of life does not lie in not reaching your goal. That tragedy lies in having no goals to reach. So the first thing you want to do as a young person is try to figure out what it is that you want to do. That's the first thing you have to figure out. What is it that interests you more than anything else in the world? And then you can start, at least it will help the trajectory of your life some kind of way. You know, I'm just saying you might want to do that, and we need to do more of that. Figure out where you think you want to go, because it is going to change as you get older. All right? And the word of the day is nefarious, which means evil or flagrantly wicked or impious. Okay? Let's move right along. Again, it is May the 4th. It is the 124th day of this year. It was on this day in 1961, the first group of freedom riders left Washington, D.C. to challenge the racial segregation of interstate buses and in bus terminals. In 1626, it was on this day, Dutch explorer Peter Minuit landed on present-day Manhattan Island. In 1886, the Haymarket Square in Chicago, a labor demonstration for an 8-hour work day turned into deadly riot when a bomb exploded. You mean we used to have to work more than 8 hours? Well, in the military, you work a hell of a lot more than 8 hours, but I don't know. Is that something new? Anyway, in 1916, responding to a demand from President Woodrow Wilson, Germany agreed to limit its submarine warfare. However, Germany resumed unrestricted submarine warfare the following year. In 1925, an international conference opened in Geneva to forge an agreement against the use of chemical and biological weapons in war. The Geneva Protocol was signed June 17, 1925, and went in force in 1928. I don't know why they just couldn't make it go in force right then and there, but okay. In 1932, mobster Al Capone, convicted of income tax evasion, entered the federal penitentiary in Atlanta. He was later transferred to Alcatraz Island. In 1942, the Battle of Coral Sea, the first Navy clash fought entirely with carrier aircraft, began in the Pacific during World War II. The outcome was considered a tactical victory for Japan, but ultimately a strategic one for the Allies. In 1950, yeah, we lost some. You know, I remember that when Bill Halsey Jr. was I think he just left the USS Enterprise, and that was his flagship before. Anyway, long story. I love reading about William Halsey Jr. Anyway, 1959, the first Grammy Award ceremony was held in Beverly Hilton Hotel, and Domenico Monduno, probably screwing up his name really bad, won Record of the Year with the Song of the Year, which, and I can't even pronounce it, no sense, but it means Volare. Hey. Okay, that's it. Henry Mancini won the Album of the Year and for the music of Peter Gunn. In 1968, The Oroville Dam in Northern California was dedicated by Governor Ronald Reagan. The 770-foot tall earth-filled structure, a pet project of Reagan's predecessor, Pat Brown, remains the tallest dam in the United States, but was also the scene of a near disaster in February 2017 when two spillways collapsed, threatening, that's right, for a time to flood parts of 3 counties in the Sierra Nevada foothills. The year was 1970. Ohio National Guardsmen opened fire in an anti-war protest at Kent State University, killing 4 students and wounding 9 others. 1980, Marshal Joseph Broz Tito, president of Yugoslavia, died 3 days before his 88th birthday. 1998, Unabomber Theodore Kaczynski was given 4 life sentences plus 30 years, just in case you make it through the 4 life sentences. You know, we got 30 more for you. By a federal judge in Sacramento, California, under a plea agreement that spared him the death penalty. In 2006, a federal judge sentenced Zacharias Moussaoui to life in prison for his role in the 9/11 attacks, telling the convicted terrorist, "You will die," with a whimper. 10 years ago, President Barack, actually more 13. President Barack Obama promised to crack down on companies that ship jobs overseas. Yeah, how did that work out? And duck U.S. taxes with offshore havens. Well, that didn't work out too good, okay? And about 3 years ago, President Donald Trump suggested that his newly hired attorney, Rudy Giuliani, needed to get his facts straight. And we know that was a long and interesting relationship that they have. Now, I like me some Rudy Giuliani. I mean, he made New York a lot safer, and of course, right now they say Los Angeles is headed toward a big old lot of folks getting killed over there right now. Now, we're going to talk about things this morning. Now you can call if you want to call. I got some time left, but we're going to talk about a couple things. Things that happened at the city council meeting last night. And we're going to talk about the word respect today, because Carlton Avery's going to be with me too. We're going to talk about respect, and it's never wrong to show respect, even if you disagree with the respectee. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that later on today. I think some of you guys are going to disagree with me, but some of you will agree with me, I think. Good morning. Who's this? Which thing? I guess I'll have 2 of y'all. Carlton. Carlton.
You so-called conservative as your friend. Right around here making excuses why you didn't want to hang out with the president yesterday. The office of the presidency. See, and you guys come out. So
you're the first and third, right?
Well, when you guys stop
consistent and persistent,
these companies from getting illegal people over here, and like I said yesterday, that some guy been here for 18 years.
Who's this?
Not a citizen. Was he paying taxes?
Oh, okay. So
huh?
Do what now?
Mentioned yesterday that worked for a company, and the man got rid of him after he'd been here working for that company for 18 years.
But he was still, but he was still illegally here. I mean, well, man, I don't know. Well, now I'm with you. Now I believe if they were taking taxes out on the brother, then he was. But again, that doesn't. No. Well, he was still illegally here. But
he was a taxpaying American.
Record on him and said that when they got caught with him being here.
Although I will tell you, if a brother can stay here that long, stay out of trouble, they should let him stay. I don't get that. Right. Listen, if you tell me that our immigration policy is all screwed up, I went through it. Trust me, I understand that. But the bottom line is that, but the bottom line is that there is a way There is a way to come to the United States. There is a way to come, and it costs money. And it costs money to come. It costs money to come. That immigration thing costs, because I know I done wrote them some checks, and yeah. Well, we do. We don't know who comes through there. We don't know who comes through that border. Hey, I gotta go. We'll be back.
Good morning, the old man. Good morning, man. You have some timers, you know that.
I do.
You can't remember short-term things.
Because he called me last.
You can't remember short-term things.
Facility now known nationwide for producing missiles used to help Ukraine in its war against Russia.
Yeah, because I thought he came last week.
To push for a bibipartisan bill.
I thought you came last week.
No, I didn't.
Nationwide manhunt continues for the Alabama Corrections.
He came. I think he came last week. You were supposed to have him last week.
I know it got all this off. He had a baby, and the week he was supposed to be here, he didn't show up, and so I got it all miscalculated.
Here along I-65 today, expect to see a lot of emergency vehicles. The Department of Transportation, the EMA, and others will be holding the annual Hurricane Lane Reversal Evacuation Exercise. Traffic is not expected to be impacted during this event. I'm Jasmine Williams, and these are your morning headlines.
WLWI AM, the home of the Ben Shapiro Show, and heard on 95.1 HD3 FM.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Reaction's been swift to a leaked Supreme Court document suggesting justices are ready to overturn Roe v. Wade. Police in Los Angeles breaking up demonstrators who threw rocks and bottles at officers. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe begins team coverage from Washington.
Protesters took to the streets across the country.
Good morning, my friend. How are you this morning?
For and against the Supreme Court's draft opinion to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Women will be trying to shuttle back and forth from different states to try to get their rights fulfilled.
We are not going back.
Vice President Harris joined the fight.
How dare they tell a woman what she can do and cannot do with her own body?
I'm Peter King. The draft opinion has left many anti-abortion activists cautiously optimistic.
You know, you can't start really declaring victory until you see it in an official way.
Florida Family Policy Council Executive Director John Stemberger says things could change quickly.
I think one of the motives for the leaker could be to try to peel off one of the conservatives on the court because of the reaction. So that's possible that could happen. It's possible we could lose the majority.
But Stemberger, lawyers, says the Alito opinion is legally sound and he's hopeful it will prevail.
Former President Trump's political power is still alive and well. A candidate he endorsed in Ohio's Republican Senate primaries won the race. J.D. Vance addressing his supporters.
They wanted to write a story that this campaign would be the death of Donald Trump's America First agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, it ain't the death of the America First agenda.
There is heavy fighting reported at Mariupol's Azovstal steel plant, where more than 150 Ukrainians have escaped, but many others are still waiting to get out. Correspondent Charlie Daggett is in eastern Ukraine.
The Ukrainian government accused Russian forces of targeting the steel plant even as civilians try to flee from a suffocating 2 months beneath it.
Mariupol's mayor says there are more than 30 children still inside, and contact's been lost with Ukrainian fighters who've been pulled up there. Beijing's taken a new step to try to curb a COVID outbreak. It's shut down 10% of its subway system. Comedian Dave Chappelle apparently okay after police say he was attacked by an audience member during a show at the Hollywood Bowl last night. CBS's Jerika Duncan.
Video of the aftermath shows a massive police presence as the suspect, who was allegedly armed, could be seen on a stretcher as he was taken into custody.
S&P futures up 18. This is CBS News.
The World News Roundup is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Need to know what it takes for a home loan to fit your budget and your family? Rocket can. Stress. It never seems to end when you owe money to the IRS. What about the years of unfiled tax returns? Have you tried another tax service and gotten nowhere? Then you need Tax Alliance. Why? Years of being A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau with no consumer complaints sets them apart. Call 800-987-1097. That's 800-987-1097.
Are you
Don't wait
downstairs?
until the IRS attacks your wages, bank account, your home or pension, and even your social security check. Tax Alliance specializes in IRS tax relief programs, including the Fresh Start Initiative, which can finally free yourself from IRS debt. Their tax professionals can file returns, fight the IRS to substantially lower your IRS debt, and possibly even have it forgiven. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes, have unfiled tax returns, or have a payment plan and are still frustrated, call 800-987-1097. That's
One of the things that I really wanted to
800-987-1097.
talk today, and I was listening to that Podbean that we had done several years ago about Mean Girls or Morehouse. This culture war has come to Alabama, and this is totally unnecessary. If you really want to know the truth, it's totally unnecessary. It's a non-pocketbook issue, but it's a talking point on talk radio. How did it get into Alabama politics?
Now, what is
It's LGBT. I see you mentioning it all the time, but it's a popular conversation on talk radio, but it really has nothing to do with any pocketbook issue.
Well, but it actually does.
But we can have a conversation, and I can tell you what.
Indirectly, it does.
Yeah, only if you want it to. Okay, we'll go. And you know what? I remember when it all started, and that's the problem. People don't remember how it started and why it started. And if we look at it in a practical sense, it really doesn't make any difference in anything. If you really want to know the truth. But yeah, because I heard that Tim James commercial on your station yesterday. That's totally irrelevant in the state of Alabama.
What?
LGBTQ.
To put $2 million in something though for a specific set of people because of the way they live their lives has got nothing. That's crazy.
Well, that's where we need to discuss it to understand what is going on actually. Does it harm you or I?
Yes,
How?
it does. It
How?
does. Well, we have that conversation.
We have that conversation over here, and I can tell you why. Because, as a matter of fact, I have a friend from Detroit who was here, and we'll get together again today, and we were talking about that. And wow, man, things that black people's attitude have morphed into something that's been manipulated by white people. That's a problem of assimilation. I'll talk about it on there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's all screwed up. Politics is all screwed up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I don't have to explain that because I remember when. And there are lies that are being told constantly, and people fall for the lies, both black and white. Did you get coffee?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, he's downstairs.
In this conversation.
Oh, okay. He's a Republican, right? Didn't you run up for Republican?
He ran. No, he ran in the because his district is where he ran for city council is been traditionally held by Actually, I don't know what he is.
A Christian conservative.
I thought
mother of two.
When I hear this, I thought he ran for
city council
representative in
Trump's team for years, helping to build
what's his name?
He ran against Grimes.
Oh, he did.
And Smith.
Oh, okay. Well, I got it mixed up because there was a guy that came up here that was running in a Republican race in the
Growing up
Senate.
here in Alabama,
I thought that's
I learned your word is your bond. I'm
But
running
you
to
ran
be
in
your senator,
your
so you
district.
deserve to know where I
Right.
stand. I'll protect life.
Then I found out yesterday they then jerry-rigged me into Hatcher's district.
Oh, okay. So that's the Senate.
Yeah,
Senate.
state senate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're you know what that is, don't you? You know that's packing and stacking.
Yeah, that's what he does.
In other words, that district is 75% black. That's the way they do it. And
Well,
then
now,
you-
but by the time you go way over here and down
yeah,
here,
and
right.
what they've done, they've picked all of the
Yeah.
vote majority blacks,
Although
and
that's
then
still
that still
majority.
keeps us in the minority. No, it's not. the way it's Jerry.
Well, oh yeah, the way,
Gerrymander.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
See, that includes part of King Hill and all that area. That's
I remember Tracy Larkin when he was running. They drew the line
in front of his house.
Yeah, I said.
Yeah. In front of his house.
Quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth.
Yeah, they put. See, he was drawn out of it.
Save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or in the gig economy, or
you got to know what's going on, man.
You can call right now.
I'm talking to somebody about that.
Very, very smart.
Yeah, they drew the line right in front of his house. One side of the street he lived on is in 25. The other side of the street is in 26. The other side of the street is 26. The side he's on is 25. Now that was, and he probably redrew it again because he's dead now.
Your WSFA first alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Dairy Queen. DQ presents, picture this. You stand before the new signature stack burger menu at DQ. 5 cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef, like the loaded A1 stack burger. And your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? DQ. Happy tastes good.
Yet again, a summer-like day on the way. Temperatures head for the upper 80s with a mix of sun and clouds. 20% chance of a pop-up shower or storm. So like yesterday, a lot of us stay dry, but that chance is there. It will be humid. Tonight, it's humid again. We're down into the mid and upper 60s. For Thursday, 90 sun and clouds, likely dry, and then raining storms with a severe threat, a small threat on Friday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. The good news continues this hump day. No major problems or accidents, nothing being reported that would send you on an alternate route. You keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. At Reinhardt Prattville, get an additional $500 discount off any vehicle just by asking for Hank. Ask for Hank at Reinhardt Prattville. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
Selecting the best choice for tires can be confusing with all the brands and options available. Trust the #1 rated tire pros in Montgomery at Chico's Auto Pros for your tire needs.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2.
Well, here it is. This is Donald J.
Good morning, sir.
Carlton.
A pleasure to meet you, sir.
We've met before somewhere. Probably just Montgomery. Maybe just Montgomery, being around Montgomery. Yeah,
probably.
Good deal. Good deal. How have you been?
I've been great. Good. Because normally, see, Kevin has something all the time. He's a senior citizen. He has sometimes.
Right.
And sometimes he remembers and sometimes he doesn't. Because he had scheduled at the beginning of this year that I would come on the first and the third Wednesday. Because it used to be every Wednesday, then some of his complaints about it. I give a different perspective.
You certainly do give a different perspective. That's right. Whether or not that perspective is accurate.
No, your perspective is always accurate of what you know.
Well, what you think.
You understand what it is.
But just because you think it, don't make it. What do you all speak on today?
One of the things we were talking about is this culture war. With Tim James was it's a non-pocketbook issue,
right? But it isn't a non-pocketbook issue.
It is.
No, it is not.
And that's where we disagree.
Yeah, we disagree.
There again, your perspective.
As a matter of fact, there are very few things in America today that don't get relevant today. What is your thinking of this
we'll talk about it. Okay. Yeah. In other words, my perception gives me my perspective. Okay.
And your experiences, right?
Right. My experiences tell me this. So therefore, my POV point of view is based on what I perceive.
Your experiences, right?
Yeah. And then when and a lot of people are influenced by talk radio. Talk radio is the driving force in America today. Be it on the what we call the liberal side, the ultra liberal, all the way over to the ultra conservative. that's what they call it. And both of them are extremely radical.
Because wait a minute.
They're both extreme ends.
The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States gave us the right for free speech. So
Right. That's true.
So we are doing exactly what was intended to be done.
And that's speech.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. And but there needs, well, most people don't read. They just listen to radio, and they get both extreme ends. Be it you call it progressive or liberal, and then you've got conservative or whatever else they call it.
What's new?
The extreme right.
Right, but what's
the extreme left and the extreme right.
What's new? It's always been that way.
No, it hasn't.
Yes,
it hasn't been this much disinformation
Yes,
on both sides.
We just didn't have access to it instantaneously like we
there
do
you
now.
go. Because
Right.
see, we have it on. You have a
But what-
24-hour news cycle. There is not news 24 hours a day.
Well, yeah, there's always something happening.
But what you have is 1 hour of news and maybe some misinformation and 23 hours of opinion. That's what happened. And like this is called news radio, right? News is only 5 minutes every day. Every hour it's only 5 minutes.
Oh, that's you, but I thought somebody was blowing their nose. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome. We got a round table up here this morning, and it's tough when you're the smartest guy in the room. I know it. But somebody has to be the anchor to this group. And right now, actually, I don't know. We have to listen to a young guy a little bit today. Anyway, good morning to you. Guests this morning, we got Donald Jenkins and Carlton Avery, which is rare because we don't normally have. And I don't even know, Carlton, I really didn't even know what and you do a great job because I don't even know what your political leanings are.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, it is.
I think the reason is that I have a dynamic background, and like I said, we're talking off the air.
Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
Yeah, well, I have a dynamic viewpoint on certain things. I'm kind of conservative in some situations, but I'm liberal in others. So,
okay, that means you're liberal. Okay, I'm good.
Well,
because you can't be conservative and liberal.
Yeah, I think so.
No, you can't.
Let me just say,
you be a moderate.
Well, yeah, I would say that. I have
okay,
I believe in family structure. I believe in some of the things that I'm seeing now on TV. I watched TV with my wife last night, and I could not believe some of the things that are shown on TV nowadays. And for me to be a young man saying that, it really is.
Yeah, and which is what Donald wanted to talk. Let me grab this call together, and then we'll get to what Donald wanted to talk, because that lends itself into all of this. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, Ed.
The first caller was, I think I'm pretty sure that was a father alive. He was a father alive. And number two, Kenny, believe me, my friend, don't let nobody fool you. God see all, and know. Have a good day out there.
All righty then. Ed is somewhat has a phobia. He thinks that I play with the telephones and never mind. I got more things to do. Anyway, Donald, you brought up an interesting subject that I think it deserves some conversation, and that is what?
We were talking about the so-called culture wars. That's what I hear one of the advertisements, and it will probably come on the show. We have a person who's running for governor, and his platform is based on being on the right side of the culture war. There is no culture war. What we've always had in America and throughout the world are these situations dealing with individuals who have an identity crisis, I'll call it. They may be a male who thinks he's a female, all of those things. That has been with us since the beginning of time. It has been documented in the Bible, okay? There's even a name for the action that was in the Bible. It's called sodomy, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So we've always had it, okay? But it is how we have dealt with it that is different now. And let me be perfectly clear. I don't care what that 1,800 members of this psychiatric board determined. If you do not know who you are, you have a form of dementia, which is called a mental disorder. Okay? If you're a man and you think you're a woman, you have a mental disorder. And a mental disorder is called a mental disability. So when we mix, when it comes to benefits and hiring and those things, if you are determined to have a mental disorder, there's a problem. So to change that, because there were so many individuals who were in high places, who had children, who had mental disorders, which a mental disorder is called a mental disability. So to get that stigma off of them, they voted to say it is not a mental disorder. So homosexuality is, until 1975, homosexuality was a mental disorder, which a mental disorder was a mental disability. A mental disability meant you were different. It was a negative. So to make them feel better, all of these movie stars, all of these very prominent billionaires, when their kids were deemed to be disabled, mentally disabled, they had to make them feel normal. So I don't have to make you feel normal if you are not. That is me personally. Okay? You don't have to make a person who has a, I don't care what the medical community says now. Homosexuality, and that's where it all started. Homosexuality is a mental disorder. There's something wrong with your.
Well, let's tell people why that came up. Tim James has spotlighted a school in Birmingham that was made particularly to serve the homosexual community, the LGBT, ABCDFG people, and like that. And I totally agree with him. School is for education, reading, writing, and arithmetic. It has nothing to do with your proclivities to do things, with your after-school activities. That's up to you. But why did the state of Alabama and the governor sign it into law? Well, we made a school based on people's personal activities when they are not around school. That's crazy. $2 million for a group of people. What if we got a whole bunch of people that like grown people who like kids?
Okay. Here you go.
Yeah.
It's because it doesn't matter to me. In other words, there are charter schools in the United States that target African American males.
But historically, we know why that is.
Hold on. There are schools. See, if you go down this road.
But they were born African American.
Hold on. If you go down this road, what you're leading to is saying that you can't have a school that targets African American males.
That's a particular reason for that, though.
Right. And there's and I'm telling
you. We're born black.
Hold on. Here's what
we
I'm
didn't
telling
become
you.
Black.
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you get into an argument that is really not an argument, okay, let you and I, well, I believe that homosexuality is a mental disorder. So those people want to feel normal. If they want to feel normal, that's okay in my book.
But said,
I don't accept.
Right. But I really don't care what people do on their private business.
Here's the difference, and I want to tell you the difference between you and I. Is I understand what tolerance is. Tolerance means I can live with that. Doesn't mean I approve of it. That means I can live with that. Now, acceptance means I approve of that. See, there's a difference. I can tolerate an LGBT school because these are, to me, still personally. See, it doesn't change what I believe. It only changes what they think I believe.
Okay. So what if we have a bunch of people?
It doesn't matter, Kevin.
It doesn't. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm saying.
On the wall, right? Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there's that name right there.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin. You're the leader here.
But what if we had people who said, I want to marry a cow or an animal? Wait a minute. Just hear me out. I want to marry an animal. Well, it's not normal. You know,
they have a mental problem.
Right. But we're gonna make a school for cows and guys.
No, you're carrying it out there to something else. Oh, what we have legally, legally, the LGBTQ community have legal rights. Do we agree that legally?
They shouldn't have any more rights than you and I have.
You can't discriminate against a person who's LGBT.
Right, we should.
So let's understand the difference between legal and moral.
Oh,
Okay.
Boy, somebody told me they agree with you, a big time person. They agree with you.
Okay.
I got to talk to them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Kevin, we have to understand, and let's use words mean something. And every word I say, I know exactly what I'm saying. I say I tolerate.
Right.
And I've always tolerated. And I told the story. It was on our Podbean that we did several years ago. A person who looks like a man, talks like a man, and act like a man, I will say yes, sir. A person who looks like a woman, talks like a woman, and dresses like a woman, I will say yes, ma'am.
Well,
so they consider themselves a woman. Now, I may know that that is a man that is dressed like a woman, but if they act that way, I will tolerate it. So what I'm doing, I can live with that.
Okay.
Doesn't affect me.
And you, what do you think?
See, I can't. And
Mr.
there you go.
Youngster.
I kind of split the middle there because in that same situation where you say how you address, an individual based on what they look like, there's a whole element. I mean, that's the transgender portion too that you're avoiding. So to eliminate that, I just simply say yes and no. I don't say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes or no, sir.
Well, I don't. In other words, and I make it clear to people because see, I grew up in an age where you either had a man or a woman, and you had individuals who acted differently, and and I tell the story. I said there was a man who was the leader of a choir. We used to have this, and we still do. There are a lot of church members who are gay, okay, and predominantly they're in the choir, and we'll be choir directors, and we had a choir director. And I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandmother, why does I'll call him Jones, why does Mr. Jones act like that? She said, boy, Mr. Jones is a sissy, and don't you act that way. Okay, but that was her very good friend. So I learned the difference between tolerance and acceptance as a child. And I taught my son, because I've had this very same conversation with my son about tolerance. You don't have to go out and do name calling against them and mistreat them. That is what they have a mental, and this is what we have to realize. They have a mental disorder.
Okay, we're not qualified.
Yeah, let me get this call in. Well, we kind of qualified.
Yes, we are. We are qualified.
We got common sense. We got common sense.
Yeah, hold on, brother.
Let me get this call. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
I just want to say that we got to stop appeasing these people and stop stealing their rights when they're wrong. We got to speak up. God has started a whole city because of this act. But we tell them they're correct. And if you believe in God, you can't believe in that. That's a form of God. They're wrong, and they're wrong. That's it. Stop trying to feed them because they're regular recruitment every day. They're unleashing that spirit upon everybody, the new generation. Let them know they're wrong. And that's it.
Okay. Appreciate it, I guess. And now, you want to say something?
I was just simply saying that, I don't think we're qualified to diagnose the mental portion of it, but
I'll disagree with you, and I'll tell you why.
The fact still remains that, in the past, we Black people were considered evil based on the color of their skin, even. So, I mean, there's so many different reasons that we've used Christianity to kind of condemn people. And I'm not saying that necessarily that I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I'm just simply saying, going back to that tolerance and acceptance thing.
Right.
I learned to tolerate it and accept it and not to get involved with it, because that's where my conservative views come in. I have two daughters. So as I'm bringing my daughters up, I saw a TV show last night where there was a transgender and a young boy coexisting like a big sister and little brother. And so I turned it off. I turned it off. My daughter's, a month and a half old. Turned it off. Stopped it from coming into my household right then. That's where my conservative views come in. I don't sway with.
But that's not tolerance.
Well, it is tolerance because I can't change it. I can't necessarily
see,
change
when you turn away from something and you don't want to talk about it. See, I'm talking about it right now, and I'm telling you, if you understand where it comes from. See, you say I'm not qualified to say their mental problem. It is, and here's what I tell you, my friend. It only took, I think it was like 1,800 members that voted in the positive for making it no longer a mental disorder. So prior to 1975, I didn't change. The law changed. And the medical community, and we'll consider psychiatrists the medical community. The medical community changed. The morality didn't change. The medical community changed their designation because it dealt with getting federal dollars.
Well,
money is at the root of all evil.
That's, and we can have that conversation the other day. But actually, one of the things I wanted to talk about this day, and something at city council meeting last night, and something happened in Alabama yesterday, and I find myself in a delicate position here because let's talk about respect. Let's talk about the president of the United States coming to Alabama yesterday, and none of my Republican buddies could get together, whether it's Shelby's office, anybody, and the governor, and give the guy. I can't stand Biden, but Biden is the president of the United States.
So you admit that. So he did win the race. That's either yes or no.
Respect the office.
It's either yes or no. Did he win?
He is the president of the United States.
Did he win? See, that's the problem. You won't even. You can't even say he won the race. So that's the problem.
Well,
now at least I admire them for telling the truth.
But
they say he didn't win the race.
He's been deemed the winner.
No, look, did he win the race?
Yes
or no? That is a yes or no question.
Well, put it this way. I won't say the race.
According to the Constitution, did he win the race? That's yes or no. According to the Constitution of the United States of America, did he win the race? Yes or no?
Let me put it.
No, bro. You're just like them. The only difference is they say that he did not win.
I don't have a.
Did he win the race?
Whether I think he won or not
doesn't
is
matter.
Irrelevant. He is the president of the United States. He sits in the White House.
You know what?
He's the man.
You are an idiot Republican.
No,
an idiot
I'm not a Republican.
can have the answer in front of him and say the opposite. That is an idiot.
And again, but
if I say to you, according to the Constitution of the United States of America, he was elected and selected.
If we had
and
not,
Congress voted according to the Constitution.
Well, now,
did he when they certified when the vice president?
Since you put it that way,
when the vice president of the United States, who was a Republican, read that.
Okay.
Did he tell the truth? Yes or no?
Let me put it this way.
When
they all voted to certify the results,
yes,
he became the duly elected president of the United States.
Mm-hmm. And was there any evidence to prove anything different?
Yes.
Where was it?
It was all over America.
No, it wasn't.
Okay,
that's a lie.
So no sense in getting into
you
this
believe the big lie.
No.
There has been no evidence in any court in the United States of America to prove anything other than what happened.
I can tell you that.
Sean Hannity said it.
Yeah, I can.
Tucker Carlson says all
tell
this.
You that many states,
other than Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity, is there any information?
Yes, there is.
Where is it?
As a matter of fact, but it's irrelevant.
In Georgia, they had to recount 3 times.
We're not going to change what happened, so why go back there?
No, what I'm telling you.
But why go back there?
Why we're not going back there?
You have a right to your thought. You have a right to your thought.
My thought is you have a bunch of idiot Republicans who do not believe what the Constitution says.
No. That's
our governor is an idiot. Our
When
senators are idiots because they're saying he didn't win.
Let me get a word in.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm on a roll, man.
When your state constitution says that you cannot send out unasked for ballot.
Any state can change what they want anytime.
No. When it was not changed.
Any state can change what they want anytime.
Okay, see. No, there's a process. And that process was not followed.
Were there any illegal voters?
Yes.
Where?
Yes, there were.
Where?
Matter of fact, they had some.
What state deemed the person?
They had some ballot. They had some ballot harvesting going on also, and
where was it?
We saw it on video.
What?
Some of us in Georgia.
What?
Some of us in Georgia.
What proof do you have? You say it's on video, and then you heard that on Sean Hannity.
I think your point, though, Kevin. I'm sorry to get off on it, but
go ahead.
Your point was you were speaking on the fact that the president came into the state and was not welcomed by both. He should have had
by everybody, right? So whether I thought he won or not is irrelevant. Right. I respect the office.
That's what I'm saying is, Kevin, is you're proving the point. They are saying that he is not legitimately the president.
Well, that's their opinion.
So they don't have, and that's right.
That's their opinion. But
they're acting on that.
Okay.
So you're saying one thing.
No, I'm telling you,
doing another.
When Air Force One lands at Maxwell Air Force Base, The president of the United States is on it.
That's right.
Okay, so whether I think it was legitimate or not is irrelevant. He is the man, and he should have been given proper respect.
But they're playing politics, and their politics is, see, they're politicians, so they're proving to their constituents they don't support this man who gets off that plane.
Right.
So how can you get mad about it when you're you think the same way?
Good morning. Not exactly the same way.
Yes, you do.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And Carlton Avery.
Good morning, sir.
I don't understand, Kevin. We out here listening to you. When Donna asked you, do you believe he won this place? You can email to that. See, and because that's why T.I. and all the rest of the Republicans didn't go down there. They don't believe this man won the president of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And they just a bunch of...
But they got a right to believe what they want to believe.
That's true. So why are we talking about it?
Because but he's still the president of the United States.
But they're going by what they believe.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's why they didn't go down there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they didn't go down there. And you know what another thing is so sad about it? I'm a 77-year-old black man, seen a lot of things. Donna have too. And you hear what those Republicans say. They say, if they ever get this state again or get this country again, the Democrats and other people gonna play hell. They gonna do whatever.
Well, they give us hell, so I mean, what's the difference?
No. See, this is dangerous with the highway that we're going down.
Right.
When they can't even respect a man when he won the president of the United States, and you, out of all people, couldn't even say it. Me and you somebody going down there. No, he wasn't going down there. He was coming here right here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going nowhere. They should have. That's how they hate him.
Okay.
They hate him.
Well, I don't hate him.
No.
We're not talking about you. You was not the one. You don't hold no public office.
Absolutely.
This is a serious thing.
Right.
And that's what I'm talking about. So whether or not I believe it or not, yeah, but it's a conversation in everything. That's true, it is. And that's why I was insulted yesterday when they didn't do it.
Why? They represent you.
They don't represent me.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
They represent your viewpoint.
I think what they did was disrespectful.
And yes, it was.
Okay. Yeah.
You say Putin doing some over there in Ukraine. Donald Trump will do the same thing that T.I. and all.
Well, Donald Trump's not in the White House right now. He's not. I'm giving you. I'm letting you know.
We don't want something. We know what you're saying.
Okay.
You look. I'm not sitting and get all Donald. You hold it in the road, Donald. But Donald Trump and to your wife saying that and all the rest of them, the other Republicans, they're behind Donald Trump.
Okay.
They can't even say the man won their election. That would be right there. All
All
the
right.
stuff he has done, what they concerned, he has done nothing.
No. Well, he ain't. I don't think he done much either, but you know. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it. Let me take one more call because then I got to get a break. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
You play that baby crying for yourself this morning. You crying, man.
I'm the one that brought it up. The fact that they disrespected the guy. No. Donald gave his opinion, and he gave his opinion, and he. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm not whining. Yeah. Because my intellectual honesty would not let me. Okay. Yeah.
Reed, he didn't go because Biden ain't come down to see the wall. Donald Trump wall. But these same people and said not one moment of word about these companies coming in here, bringing these people in here down in the chicken plants in Mississippi and other places where Trump sent people down there to bust them.
Okay.
Bringing in illegals.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy here yesterday said that a guy was over here 18 years working. Then all of a sudden they figured he was illegal.
Okay.
Mr. Fowler, you think this individual was paying taxes?
Yes, he was paying taxes if he was on a job.
But even illegal though, they
He didn't have the documentation that's required. Now they require all jobs to document all the workers.
E-Verify, as
Yeah,
a matter of fact,
E-Verify.
and all that.
He didn't have all the documentation for that. That's all.
Yeah. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Let me grab one more before I take my next break. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, sir. I said those who do not follow I said the idiots who do not follow the Constitution. Do you follow the Constitution? Do you follow the Constitution? Let me ask you a question first. Let me ask you the question. Did Joe Biden legally win the race of Constitution? Yes or no? No. Now you answer the question. Yeah, I asked the question. You asked the question to a question. Now let me ask you the question again, sir, so that everyone will hear. Let me ask you. No. I asked you a question before you get into me.
Guys,
I asked you a question.
Somebody.
No.
Yeah.
We'll talk intelligently. I asked you an intelligent question. Did Joe Biden legally win, according to the Constitution, the election? Yes or no? That requires a yes or no, sir.
All right. Well, let him do. Right.
Did any state say that their votes were not constitutional?
They were.
Did any state say that their votes were not constitutional? What state? No. What state said they were not constitutional?
Let him.
No, he talks a bunch of crap.
Well, that's
I'm
okay,
talking facts.
But
okay.
let him get his word.
Go ahead, get your crap out.
Right.
Did any state deem their votes not constitutional?
They were part of the cheat.
Well, no state did it.
Yeah.
There was legal strategy involved,
Right.
just like there was with Trump when he won, just like there was when Obama won. I mean, that's part of, these guys are brilliant. They have a brilliant strategist team. And so I agree with the caller in some aspects. I agree with you, Donald. And we're splitting hairs, honestly. I mean, because every presidency, that's part of getting into the seat. You have to strategize to get there.
Right.
And
you got to manipulate.
And according to the Constitution, and if you're following, all campaigns follow, according to the Constitution, you have those legal rights.
Let me ask you a question. Is that the same Constitution that somebody looked in it and said you have a right to abort your child?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I didn't say the Constitution was moral. We're not dealing with moral.
I'm looking for
we're dealing with legal.
I'm looking for the passage in the Constitution that you have a right to kill your children.
Legal here. If they deem it legal, that's what the justices
right.
say.
There's legal. Okay.
And if they deem it illegal, that's it.
Good morning. Who's this?
But it's still morally the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good morning, caller.
His time is past. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Yes.
His speech torn up in front of the whole nation, Speaker of the House, full speaker in front of the whole nation. Total disrespect for the office.
Spying on him.
You have mayors, you have governors across this United States. We're not going to honor any type of federal law that comes to immigration. We're going to create a sanctuary city in direct
Opposition to the law. Right. So.
Right. But caller, let me ask you this. Let's have a conversation. Do you think that we've ever had a president to act the way Donald Trump has acted in office? To name calling was his constant thing for individuals.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah. Okay. Here goes. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay.
Okay. If you act a certain way look for people to retaliate.
Lyndon
against you
Baines
that way.
Johnson used some pretty interesting words in some of his
hold on.
in some of his communications.
Let's deal with Donald John Trump.
Okay.
There has never been a president like Donald John Trump. There has never been a president who directly attacked the news media.
They needed it.
But the news media attacked back.
Okay.
Hold on. That's rumored that it happened. Okay, and
Rumor.
that woman said that. Okay, no, I'm not taking up for that. But what I'm saying is, we're talking about the office itself. There has never been a president.
You're talking about the literal office itself.
We're talking about the office itself.
Right.
We've never had a president to talk the way to foreign officials and to domestic
And he got
officials.
more done
The way,
talking plain English.
He was a reality show.
Okay.
Let's face it. He was a reality show.
You didn't like him. Just say you didn't like him.
He was a reality. You never knew what was going to come out of his mouth.
And that's what I liked about
or
it.
what his tweet was going to say. But then again, there's retaliation for that.
Okay.
But has Joe Biden done that in office?
Joe Biden don't know where Rumi is.
That's there you go.
Okay.
But has Joe Biden done that in the office?
He can't speak. He can't hold a whole sentence together.
That's reality talk.
I watch him.
Right-wing
I watch
talk.
his speeches.
Have you heard? Have you heard Donald Trump speaking?
He
makes absolutely no sense.
Well, to me, he did. Maybe
They ask him
cold.
They can ask him a question about anything.
That
He'll
was
start
cold.
talking about
He was
the
talking to
election of
us.
2020.
He was talking to us though.
No matter what you talk to him about, it's still 2020.
He talking cold.
The
to us.
race was. Oh, there you go. Okay, I understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He talks in code. I'm sorry. He talks in code to you guys. Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
No. Well, let me ask Carla. Let me ask you this.
That doesn't reflect that. I can say that I've looked at voter lists for I don't know, probably almost a decade, and so just like the Koreans in this town, and we're in Montgomery, Koreans, Mexicans, Hispanics, they don't vote. I mean, they're less than 1% of the total vote.
Right, they don't.
So that's not even reflective of the actual population. So despite how it's coming to this town, coming to this country, they don't go to the polls. So they have
only the ones that are illegal.
Right.
Right.
They did.
And we still ain't voting that much.
Let me ask this, caller. Why is it such a concern now in America for immigrants coming in? That's what I will call them. When you had boatloads of immigrants coming from Europe to these United States, and the people did not cry, oh, they're going to vote a certain way, they're going to do this. There were immigrants in this town who came in droves from overseas during World War II and after World War II. Why was there not a big cry then? They came here, millions of them, with no job, didn't speak the language.
We were a new country then.
And no, we weren't new.
Yeah, we were.
Oh, now you're giving an excuse.
Right, they came here illegally.
Look,
Ellis Island, remember Ellis Island?
You had immigrants who came to this country in 1944 and could vote, and you had black people who were in the same country for 100 years and couldn't vote. So don't give that crap. I don't care how many immigrants come here.
Soon they hit the door.
Why did you have to change the law? All those immigrants came here and voted. But then again, my great grandmother couldn't vote.
So you telling
me
had
an immigrant who come here from Germany and could go into a restaurant, and the same restaurant my great grandmother.
Yeah, I understand that. But I don't think you could vote.
Man, it doesn't matter. It's, you know what? It's a technicality. It's documentation. That's all it is. You know what? Let me ask you this, sir. How many of these immigrants do you think are on Social Security or all of these things that people say? How many of them are here in Montgomery on those? we're in Alabama now. Alabama talks about the border. We have our governor talking about the border. Okay, if them are taking jobs from people in Alabama, we can't find people. We have a Hyundai plant. We have a ammunition dump that's making stuff, and we can't even find the people. We have to get them from other states. And then when people come in to do the crops and other things, and what makes it legal?
The paperwork.
Well, let me ask you this: why don't we have a problem in Canada?
That's where we.
Why don't we have a problem in Canada?
Because that's where we go.
I have a friend in Detroit. They walk back and forth across the border.
That's where we go when we don't want to fight.
Why don't we have a problem in Canada?
Anyway,
and you can go back and forth if you live in Detroit.
And if you got a passport, then you're legal.
And
that's what I'm saying. You got a passport,
and you go back and forth to Canada.
Right, but you got a passport.
And Canadians come to
legally.
Everyone in Canada comes across that border with a passport.
Absolutely.
Sir, I tell you, I know for a fact they don't.
Anyway, I've got to take a break. We'll come back right after these important messages.
Hey, welcome to
Thank you. They don't. I was in Seattle.
Yeah.
They've been in Seattle 3 years ago. About
they don't see, that's a misconception. You don't have to have.
I miss that.
Yeah, you don't have to have a passport to go to Canada. If you're American, you go back and forth.
Yeah.
So why is it different in Canada than it is in Mexico?
I don't know. And in fact, a lot of people have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
You can split it.
Yeah.
You didn't know that.
Yeah. See, and all that is in order to get the cheap labor, you make it them a different people.
Right.
They're no different. There's no difference between Mexicans and Canadians when you really get down to it. Okay. But we make the difference. That is the racism that makes the difference. And then we get into an uproar. Man, Canadians working in the United States, and there are people in the United States working in
just as much criminal as Mexico.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
There's no difference. So, but you don't hear anything about Canada.
We don't at all. So I don't know. It's a money thing. I think the thing is,
it is a money thing.
Let me say it this way. So I think that the illegals, they're affecting the southern portion of the United States, which is where they want to maintain a conservative view.
See, if it were so that the Mexicans could do the same thing that the Canadians do, if they could live in Mexico, go across the border and work in the United States, go back, pay the taxes over here, and then go back, it would be no problem.
Exactly.
But you would make more money by having them have to be documented to be here, rather than doing it.
That's why Canadians use that dual citizenship most of the time. Because when they bounce between the United States and
there you go.
But Biden's election was manipulated. I don't care nobody.
Trump was too. I agree. Trump was. Obama's was. Let me tell you what.
Well, all elections are manipulated.
They showed how.
That's where you get the.
In the name of COVID, we did things constitutionally that were prohibited.
Well, if you believe
manipulation should not have a negative connotation. There's strategy.
Yes,
I'll look at it. I'll agree. Trump won the election based on the county he won on the county level. When he was hitting Florida, he was trying to get the electoral votes. Florida's electoral college have long been out there.
Yeah.
But it's in place. So that's how
it's in place. So states like California, who are way overly populated, don't run roughshod over states like Maine.
Fair.
Okay, so I voted for electoral college.
Well, it's outdated because originally Virginia could have more votes with the slaves. That's why the 3/5.
Right.
Because their population was bigger. It was one of the most populated states.
It has, but it's not.
But it would have had an advantage.
It's not
so that's
proportionate based on the population. That's what it's supposed to be updated, and it hasn't been.
No, it hasn't been.
But like I said, I agree. Strategy. We look at manipulation. I look at strategy. I looked at Trump, how he won on a county by county level in Florida and some of these bigger states where the electoral votes were big. And then same thing with
somebody said when people come across the border, they actually come with work permits and they pay taxes legally. So when they walk across whatever case,
so why can't you just do that in Mexico?
Why don't?
Because it's manipulated. It really doesn't matter. They could do the same thing in Mexico that they do in Canada.
We could, because Popeye wouldn't be.
But I can tell you for a fact, every person in Canada does not come over here with a work permit and stuff. They just walk back and forth across the border. And the reason, and they don't work, and there is no wall there, and they can just. There are cities in the northern part of the country where half of the cities in Canada and half of the cities in the United States. Yeah. So why is there a difference? It's because people made a difference, and now we have this polarization now to make it seem even worse. But because we were working in a direction is to do the same thing in the South that we do in the North.
Between the generations that are coming across now and the ones that came, used to be years ago when people came to America, they wanted to be American. Now people come across just to be in America. And not necessarily.
That has always been. You have always had the Italian. You've had little Italy. You've had little China. You've always had these, but it's no different.
There's nothing wrong with
the
Jews. Part of your culture.
No. They have always, as a matter of fact, now we still celebrate an Irish holiday.
What?
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and we
the Irish came here and they had their own culture.
Look at what happened in Miami. You speak on people want to be Americans, but that's America. I mean, Miami was built on the drug cartel. Those guys didn't want to be Americans. They want to be drug dealers.
Want to benefit from America without the work.
It's actually a man.
So it's no different now, Kevin. The biggest difference now is misinformation that's out there on both ends of the spectrum. There's really no difference now than it was years ago. The same group of people are coming.
And the biggest thing I think is to make our country great or better than it's ever been, put it that way, you need some degree of bipartisanship.
Oh yeah, but that's fading and getting.
We keep splitting hairs.
Yeah, we're splitting hairs.
We stay in a turmoil.
But the bottom line, I'm still ticked off that whether I agree with that guy's in the White House, we never should have put him in the White House, but he's there.
But he's there.
And I do believe that they disrespected the office of the president.
And because of what, and you disrespect him too, because you say he didn't win legally. So that's part of it. The difference between them and you.
No, I didn't say that. I said that it was manipulated. Now, and when 3 or 4 states send out things that are prohibited, that are constitutionally prohibited by their own constitution. No. It's a process, right? There's a process you must go through to make it law. They didn't.
But was any state saying this is illegal? Did any state say?
Manipulation of strategy. I'm going to go back.
It's a strategy. It can be a negative.
Council race. Ed Grimes and Donnie Mims, first and second, I came in third. Donnie decided he didn't want to run anymore. Ed Grimes never got over 51%, which is what state statute said. But there's a strategy. There's manipulation there too. But now he's in that seat. So who am I to go to him and say, well, you're not really city council?
From 2 till 5 p.m. right here on News Radio 1440. Depend on
it. Okay, let me take a couple calls because people have been waiting on here forever. So let me see if I can get them on. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
You and your compadres on the spot, and it's just like it.
Wait a minute, and I agree with you. That's what I've been saying. I agree. So why y'all jumping on me? I'm ashamed too.
Because they think like you.
But they don't think. Evidently, they don't think like me because they didn't show up. I would have showed up.
You don't think you won.
Yes.
To the president and the federal government for help in the counties that were hurricane devastated. How can you ask these children to stop doing what they're doing when I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago? Respect and discipline. What's wrong with these people? Kevin, it starts with you. You wouldn't even.
I guarantee you. Hold it. I guarantee you, I'm the only member of the media that has brought this up about the disrespect that these folks showed Biden yesterday. I bet I'm the only one.
But you're dishonest.
I'm not being dishonest. I'm in the military. In the military,
Is he legally the president of the United States?
Marine.
According to the Constitution.
In the military, we are taught to respect the rank, even if we don't like the guy that's wearing it. And that's where I'm coming from.
But they are not military, though. They're
Well,
politicians.
I don't know about that.
They're politicians.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Every judge in this country challenge any lawyer, like we just run off at the mouth, but he challenged any lawyer at any level to bring evidence of voter fraud. We waiting on the first one.
Well, Dinesh D'Souza did find that evidence. He wrote a book. Dinesh D'Souza did find that evidence. Yeah. Well, judges can decide what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. Hey, I gotta run. Time's up. I gotta go.
Boy, that hour went quick.
But judges can decide what they want to hear and what they don't. And it was a collective effort to keep him out the White House. So it was
a conspiracy.
It was a hell of a conspiracy.
But it had to have bipartisan support.
Well, right. There's some Democrats didn't want him, and there was a Republican.
Was there any proof in any state that the election?
Yes.
Where is it?
Philadelphia, for sure. Michigan, for sure. Michigan has a law that says you cannot send out unsolicited absentee ballots.
Who deemed the votes legal? The state did.
But to that end, in each election nationwide, there's been voter fraud. And since the beginning of time.
In fact, somebody else, a white lawyer the other day got charged with voter fraud.
Since the beginning of time.
She was a Democrat.
I'm not trying to diminish what you're saying either way, but I truly think that that's part of the strategy. It worked for Biden, it worked for Trump, it'll work for the next
president. Did y'all move?
Yes.
Y'all went by there and looking for a brother.
Bigger play. You also say you on University Court. You know where
Rodriguez, get ready to pay more.
You gotta have a call to get out
don't
there.
have anybody breaking in the windows anymore. You know we had a whole glass building, the old building, all glass.
CBS News
So
business
y'all went out there so
analyst
you ain't got a
Jill
call.
Schlesinger says it'll cost you.
It's a bigger space.
Increase means that it will cost more to finance everything from a credit card bill, an auto loan.
What do you have?
And small business loan. It's all going to cost more.
Mr. Vance,
CEO Brian
Mr. 3,
oh,
me, 3.
Okay, I might have to
get out of here. That was a quick hour, Kevin.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah, I got it.
You got to go in jail.
Yesterday, the Supreme Court gave a draft opinion suggesting Roe v. Wade is set to be overturned.
You let me know when.
His political
He's the first and third.
And O'Keefe is at the
Wait a
White
minute,
House.
and
He
you
says
the
it's
second
setting
and
the
fourth.
stage for contentious midterm elections.
Look, you forgot already. I told you he has some
Y'all gotta remember that.
It's a pleasure to come, follow you. So, your first and third, I'll be second and fourth. So.
Right. Okay, so y'all remember that.
Yeah. So he wanted to see. Some of his listeners need another perspective. So
Well,
you see, I can be a little brutal to them sometimes, but I don't care.
You can be a little arrogant sometimes.
Hey, call it what you want. Hey, call it what you want. Look, I can be me.
I wouldn't mind joining you again anytime.
All right, man.
Good meeting, man. Take care.
Okay, take care.
And the mayor says Russian forces are bombarding the Azovstal factory again. He says they've lost contact with Ukrainian troops inside. North Korea has fired a ballistic missile just days before South Korea's newly elected president takes office. It is the country's 14th launch this year. Defense analysts fear a nuclear test could come soon. Dave Chappelle kept the jokes flowing after he was tackled on stage by an audience member at a show in L.A. Chris Rock chimed in too. Comedian referring to last month's on-stage slap he got at the Oscars. Police say Chappelle's Hollywood Bowl attacker had a replica gun on him with a knife blade in it. They're in at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We found out this morning M&M's made the cut, so have a group of 80s rockers. Duran Duran, Carly Simon, Lionel Richie, and Dolly Parton have been chosen too.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
S&P Futures up 9. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
There's new research on trans kids.
The study published in the journal Pediatrics found that most children who socially transitioned at a young age still identify as transgender years later. The new findings are important for transgender kids. Johanna Olson works with them at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles.
There are high rates of depression, anxiety, social isolation, but young people that I've seen who socially transition in childhood and have support of their families, they have a very different experience.
Prior research had suggested a much higher rate of younger people likely to retransition back to their gender at birth. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
New coup for kids with Down syndrome. Anna Anderson and Zane Wells, two students with syndrome, have been crowned from prom king and queen at Jefferson Forest High in Virginia. Teacher there says fellow students chose the couple to show them how important they are to their community. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought the problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. I'll visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy or plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. Very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
Republicans will run the U.S. Senate next year, but will they fold as they always have, or stand strong against Biden's socialist Marxist agenda? That's a question Alabama Republicans will answer on primary day. Katie Briggs, an establishment moderate who worked for Richard Shelby and cheered when Doug Jones beat Roy Moore. And Durant, a tough guy who's weak on guns, and a lot more. The only one conservatives can trust is Mo Brooks. Brooks is the hard-right conservative who stood up to Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, and Donald Trump.
Well, they called me yesterday because they wanted to talk to me.
Brooks will always stand up to Joe Biden. Brash, bold, controversial, but always right.
Yeah.
That's Mo Brooks.
Very rare, of course, one will land.
Yeah,
no matter who the president is, it should be commended when people greet him and say, "You're welcome," because he's still the president of the United States. We're supposed to. Well, that may be true. I'm not even going to argue with you if that's what you believe.
But again,
he won the election, whether it was fair and square or not. He won it. Yeah. Whether Donald Trump won the election fair and square or not, he won it. Okay. So you have to respect the office. Now, the guy, when he says some things, you're like, wow.
That's true. I listen.
But he's still the president of the United States.
He reminds me of what's his name? Reminds me of a teenager or something. You don't have to give crap back to some. You are the man.
Well, that's his character.
That's who he is.
But that's who the people elected. Because when he talked about Ted Cruz and all those other people,
that was during the campaign.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But no one has ever done that before. I mean, personal attacks.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't on. It wasn't on
personally
policy.
Attack the hell out of him.
Well, he did it to them.
So
he did it to everyone up there. He attacked them personally, on a personal level. He had a nickname for everyone. Even if you tick him off, he's gonna get a name.
It was tragedy. It worked.
And and common people like that, but that's not what it's all about. But do you know and you realize? See, you say Biden doesn't have any sense. Biden had to come in a short period of time, mend relationships with the rest of the world so that NATO could do what it's doing now. Whether you agree with it or not.
Let them walk over us.
No, they're not walking over.
They ain't walking over us.
We're leading it, but he has to do it in a way because he's doing something that no president has ever had to do. He's got to deal with another president. No president of the United States had to ever deal with the person before him. He's got to deal with all those people who were with him.
You don't think Ronald Reagan?
No, Ronald Reagan. No president has had to deal with his predecessor. His predecessor went away.
You talk, yeah.
His predecessor went away.
Well,
so that means
if
he's got to deal with his predecessor with other countries too.
But if he had his mental faculties,
he has them.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
I listen to the guy speak.
No, look, Kevin, you're very selective. Listen to any conversation that Donald Trump has.
Yeah.
You will see the guy is not all there.
And you think the guy's in there now is all there?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a gas machine, that's true.
Okay.
And they turned the gas into something else.
Okay. All right. You're entitled to do your opinion.
That's my opinion.
860-1440 number. You want to give us a call? Love to talk to you. Again, one of the things we got on this conversation this morning about, and it was basically about respect and whether or not the high muckety mucks in Alabama should have shown their face last night or yesterday with the president of the United States, whether you like the guy or not. Just to give respect to the office.
Well, they're not going to do that. They tell you every day they don't respect him.
Well,
so why would you show up and say, "Oh, okay, I respect you"?
Well, I just think you're wrong.
What elected official in Alabama have you heard show respect for the president of the United States presently?
The Democrat.
I said, what Republican?
Oh.
There's no Republican who even admits that he's the president.
I haven't heard Mo Brooks. I haven't heard Mo Brooks say nothing nasty about him. Okay, but I haven't heard him say anything nasty about the president.
Mo Brooks is.
He's a pro-Trumper.
He's even trying to say that the election he was in the lead. He probably has to appear before Congress because he said he wasn't duly elected.
Okay, well, that's his opinion, but I haven't heard him say anything nasty about the guy. He just didn't believe that the election was done right. Good morning, who's this?
And that's not being nasty.
No, it ain't being nasty.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning. Always such a joy to hear you. I get so sick of all this mess every day, and he does the same thing when you're there, but he can't compete against you. Let me say a few things, okay, that's on my mind. It's my turn now. You can learn a lot from Donald if you will listen. The young man that's there, you can learn a lot too if you listen. Donald can learn a few things from the young generation from you too. But you need to listen to what he's saying. He's not giving any false information. And I get so sick of gathered every day. You're talking about the people in a political party disrespect the president of the United States. You do it every single day.
I'm not a political person.
Hello, wait a minute.
I'm not in office.
You're a hypocrite.
Yeah, but I don't do it in an official capacity. But they don't give a crap about me. I'm a nobody. Yeah. So.
As a human being. Now, what I want to ask Donald, Cody, to teach you all a few things. Tell them who owns most of the businesses in this city.
Well, we know who.
The white person, who we consider quote unquote white, or was it an immigrant? Because we have a very cross section of people in this city. I have a friend, her family is Greek. We have Koreans, we have Mexicans, we have everybody
right
in the city. But tell them who owns most of these businesses in this city.
Most of the businesses in Montgomery, Alabama are owned by immigrants.
Okay.
Thank you. And they always were.
If you go to any service station right now.
Well, what's the problem with that? They bought them.
No, I'm just saying they're here.
Yeah, they bought them.
They're immigrants and they left their country. Yeah.
Well, we're not immigrants. Black folks ain't immigrants.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pay my taxes.
Oh. Right now in your office, are they contributed? Answer that question first before you give any comments about anything that's going on. And I'm going to say this for the last time. I don't have to prove anything. There's a gentleman that keeps calling and talking about how I want undisciplined kids. Nobody can prove anything that I've ever said on this radio that I said that they should not suffer any consequences. I will protect them as far as their rights are concerned. They have rights just like anybody else. And those same kids that your family members had in their families, they would have put it in a hospital for crazy people. That's what we used to call it back in the day, for crazy folks. Okay? So you have some of those special needs people in your family that you need to be more sensitive.
All right. Appreciate it. Sensitive. We love sensitivity. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Mr. Evans. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Now we need to get some things straight about how these illegal agents can get a Social Security card and then draw Social Security, as well as the other things that we have in this country. It's hard enough for people that were born here to get these same things. You talking about they can just go down there and apply for it, and it's awarded to these people. Now, we know for a fact, and you guys can do it for yourself. Donald Trump used illegal agents to build his golf course, but you guys don't say nothing about what he did.
Donald Trump did not let those people come in. All the listen, if the United States say let them in, then I use them too. Yes.
That's the problem that you guys keep talking about there. You should not say nothing because every president that you talking about, Republican, Democrat, will let them in. So now, you should not come.
So when do we stop? When do we stop though? But when do we stop? When do we stop letting people come in? Okay.
He's going to keep using them because they keep paid. So now, all these things that we talking about, and then, matter of fact, when you get some stuff done on your house or a roof put up there, do you ask them folks if they people?
I don't hire them. They work for other people.
Well, they do.
Okay.
You hire them.
No, I hire a company. We hire a company, and the company uses the labor. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Well, let me put it this way. If there's water, if there's water coming in my house and they want to fix my roof, and I don't care who does it at that moment, as long as it's done. But I don't do the hiring. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he didn't do it in the White House.
It doesn't matter what he did. He was married.
Okay. Okay. Well, Donald never said he was a Christian. I don't believe.
Yes, he did. He did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we get onto everybody's personal failures, hell, can't nobody say nothing.
To help you caller on that subject, that's just locker room talk.
That's right. That's all. That's locker room talk.
That's just
and locker room talk, we all have it.
Yeah.
You had it. I've had it.
Just locker room talk.
Yeah. All right.
So they let that go.
Yeah.
How much locker room talk that you want to complain about on the other side?
We do it. We do it all the time. We didn't say we were perfect. No. We didn't say we were perfect. There are no perfect Christians.
Right.
Okay. And I only. That's right. And I only talk about people's public pronouncements. I don't get into people's personal affairs because I got my own. So I don't ever get into that. But they're public statements and policies. Yeah. Okay. Well, we just don't care what you do at nighttime in your bedroom. I don't care. No, I don't. I don't care if you're in the bed with elephants. I don't care. No, yeah, but don't leave the bedroom and come tell me. Okay, listen. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know.
Well, yes, you do know because he got convicted.
Okay.
Now, you guys don't never know about your side.
Exactly.
You know everything about the other
because at least we have the fortitude to keep it private. Okay. My thing that I don't want to know what y'all doing. I just don't care. Yeah. Appreciate it. That's my problem. I don't care what you're doing.
Just do wrong right.
Right. Do wrong the right way. Good morning.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Well, hey, I ain't never put old Bill down for that. Yeah. Right. Oh, that's true. I agree with you. Yeah. I believe anybody 65 years old and younger really don't have an excuse not to have done something with their life where they had all these opportunities. So, and I realize there's probably some jealousy. Well, I got that on my list of things to talk about too today. Because I watched the mayor last night, and there were so many things that were not said. He makes it sound as though it's an easy process, and it isn't. But most of the time you can't do business with this. Right. But the problem is that we don't spend a whole lot of time telling people that before you come to the city or any place to do business with any municipality, there's certain things that you have to be able to prove and certain things you got to be able to do. And one of those things, you need to be able to get bonded. Okay, you have to do that. And you got to have, your credit can't be jacked up from the flow up. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I don't know why traditionally, every time I talk to somebody, man, my credit messed up. So why your credit messed up? You're 25. Why your credit messed up? Well, you ain't never gonna get business with anybody. You're just never gonna get it. No driver licenses. You're never gonna get the business.
Well, there's a standard, that's all.
Yeah, that's a standard. And you gotta be able to meet the standard. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. My people, if my guy's Republican, I know, but if my gay Republican friend is gay, he won't go around bragging about it. Well, that's okay. Bathroom's a private place. You can do what you want to do in there. All right, appreciate it. You can do what you want to do in the bathroom. I'm good. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, Kevin, this is Marty. How's it going?
Fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of hypocrites in politics and everything, but as I mentioned earlier, I know you all were talking about credit and stuff, but what we don't have is enough of financial literacy, especially in our own community. The evolving of a dollar and keeping the dollars in your community, dollar and cent.
Now, let me ask you a question. Wait. Let's stop right there. We live in an advanced world today. Our education system is one of the best in the world. Are you telling me that the basic concept of spend less than you make is somehow I need extra training for that?
Yes. Because one of the most dangerous things is a credit card.
I got 27 of them.
You don't know how to use a credit card.
I got 27 of them.
Why do you have 27?
Because they keep sending them to me. So why take them? Okay.
You waste money in front of a person, they're going to take it and spend it. But understanding how a dollar works in our community,
right.
Put our money back in our community and let it evolve. If you're patronizing companies and they're overwhelmed, they're going to hire more people.
Yeah.
And everything. And you got to understand that the water is not always.
Are black folks the only people that go to school and don't learn anything? And we always talk about education, re-education. Listen, this is not a hard process. Don't spend the money that you don't have.
That's what people do with a credit card. You're spending money you don't have.
Understanding how a dollar works, Kevin, and everything, because that's how you move things. I think people are talking about you 1% owns 80% of the wealth in this country.
And I'm not mad at them because we got if the stupid 99% want to keep giving their money to them, then so be it.
Again, Kevin, financial literacy.
Ah.
Now, some people call it woke, and that's kind of like what you call unpopular. But woke has a lot of meaning to it when it comes to lifting up your people, putting your money back in your community, supporting them the opportunities.
Okay. Well, as long as there's a Walmart on the corner, are they selling vape things on the corner? Matter of fact, these gas stations even sell dope pipes, and we go in there and buy. So at some point, people got to take personal responsibility for where they are.
Right, I understand that, Kevin. But what are we going to do? We're going to just lie in and just say, well, you deserve what you got, or because it affects us, Kevin.
Well, I will say this, but there's a story about a guy and a dog sitting on the porch, and the kid walked up to the man and said, "Mister, the dog is making that noise because he's sitting on the nail," and the owner of the dog said, when he gets tired of hurting, he'll get up.
Right, Kevin, but I can
Okay.
say this to you, man. Between depression and recession, a recession is an individual problem.
Yeah, I hear you.
Depression is everybody's problem. And I want to say this to you, Kevin. If we ignore what's going on in our community and say that it's everybody else's problem, sooner or later it's going to be your problem.
Okay, and then you'll be in jail or dead, and then it'll be your problem. So. I'm being real about it. You asked me the other day, why the crime? Why are we killing each other, Kevin? And the thing is that the lack of education. That's a bunch of crap. There is no lack of education, man. We go to school in America for free. Kevin, I'm just being real. But why is there a lack of education? We get it free. Kevin, if they're not in the classroom, they're going to be in your living room. Okay, well then they'll have to be carried out if I catch them. Okay. What I'm saying is true. Hey, let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you because you're killing me with these tear jerking things here. Should people who don't have the ability, and people who haven't taken advantage of the things this country has to offer, should we just forget about it? No, Kevin, but no. Why not? Kevin, let me tell you this. I've done well. But I came up in a community where people picked us to fail. But if there was somebody in that community that pulled me aside along with the school and said, hey, look, you're better than that. You don't have to be a victim of your circumstances. Okay. Each one take one, each one mentor one. But I got to go to my break. So be it. We'll be back. Where's my baby crying thing? Get that in a second. Anybody my age and below ain't got no excuse. I'm just sorry. Anybody my age and below just don't have an excuse.
Well,
they just don't. You right at that age where you call a little bit of that stuff. But
I was around people who had the attitude that no matter what you do in life, if you're black, you're gonna have to do twice as good to get half as much.
Right, but it does make you twice as better.
But you have to do your best, no matter what you do in life. And you always say it, no matter what you do in life, you do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it better. See, you just found that out as an adult.
Yeah.
As a child, I grew up with that saying because there were many men around me who attended Morehouse. They were 16. I had one of my friends. He was 16 when he went to Morehouse. Martin Luther King was 16 when he went to Morehouse. We learned at an early age. If you're going to college at 16, that means you're pretty smart. And so that was the attitude I grew up with. That was the men around me. At Alabama State, you had the smartest teachers in the United States.
Because it used to be black institutions believed in excellence.
That's right. But what happened when you try to assimilate with the other society that gives you your attitude, the conversation we had, tolerance and acceptance, that was in our community. That's nothing new. But you didn't have to let them run you.
These are the people that have created chaos at the border, the likes of which we've never seen 25, 30-year record in terms of illegal immigrants because of their policies. So they're looking at this as like, we're going to cling to this.
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Are you a real estate investor looking to refinance one or more of your properties? Most lenders only work with cookie-cutter W-2 borrowers. At Cash Call Mortgage, we have loans designed specifically for investment properties. We qualify customers based on the cash flow from the investment property. Borrowers can get up to $2.5 million. That's right, $2.5 million. No tax returns or employment verification needed for our investment property loans, and absolutely no lender or broker fees. If you're a real estate investor looking to refinance a mortgage on one or more of your investment properties, give Cash Call Mortgage a try. Just if you're qualified, visit
land in Montgomery. Yeah. They could have went out to Max, but they had to go out to Dope.
Yeah, that's why I showed you a picture. A friend of mine was there. I got that when that plane arrived. I got that on my phone from a friend of mine who was there. So it's not like it was out of their way.
Someone had invited me. I remember when
Bobby Wright. But the Republican members of council didn't go. That was Tracy, C.C. Calhoun, I think the little short guy was in office. I think they all, and the mayor, and they greeted him on the tarmac. Matter of fact, same person that sent me that, she was there on the tarmac too. Because they have a protocol for you'll be in a certain place if you are in, and they had a certain place for the city because they vet them first before they go there. He went down, got off the plane, and shook the hand of Tracy Larkin. I think C.C. Calhoun. What's the guy that I know who it was? The tall guy that was the preacher. What's his name? Mitchell or Knuckles? Knuckles, yeah, Knuckles. Because all four of them were voted in. Willie Cook, Tracy, Knuckles. I think short guy. Yeah, they were all there. Yeah. So and it was on the news. It was on the news.
Sure, if I ever get the opportunity to meet the president, no matter who he is, I go see him. Sometimes we take this Republican and Democratic crap a little too serious.
Well, it comes from this medium here is doing it. You do it a lot of times. If a person disagree, if I say something that you disagree, you say, "Oh, you're a Democrat." See, you do it without realizing.
Yeah, but
we can have a different. I am an independent. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. No, look, I don't look. I tell you, I'm definitely not with this LGBTQ thing.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not with this abortion thing. I'm not a Democrat. That's
Sound like a Democrat.
How? How does it? See, there you go.
Always whining.
When am I whining? What do I whine?
You're whining right now.
I'm not whining. What am I whining about?
What? They call me a Democrat. Okay, well, yeah.
I'm not whining. I'm saying that is a fact. You say you call me a Democrat. Because you call me one, don't make me one.
That's right. Don't make you one.
But what I'm saying in that, you're saying that there is a certain thing that makes a person a Democrat, a certain thing that makes a person a Republican. It's not. Because I remember, see, I'm old enough, Kevin, to remember when the Democratic Party had two factions. Okay? The majority of the people who were in that faction that call themselves conservative were white, and they are Republicans now. The majority of those who were voting for and wanted to have equal voting rights and all those things, they were Democrats. But you had the rooster and you had the donkey. The donkey was the state party, which is not really a part of the national party. And honestly and truthfully, because the state of Alabama, ever since Nixon, did not vote along the Democratic line for president. That's how long it's been. I remember when the last Democratic president that I think they had was so long ago. It was before I was born. But it's been Republican ever since and it was the Southern strategy, Kevin, which your white listeners claim didn't happen. It did. The Southern strategy was what it was. That's when the Ku Klux Klan was Republican. Okay, it started out as a Democratic party, then it became a Republican party. The Democratic faction of the Republican Party and the backwards thinking that went on. I can remember it. The only registered voters that I remember when I was a child were Republicans. They were the only registered voters. And the only reason they let them register is because they wanted to be Republican. And no elected official in the state was Republican. You know that, did you?
And good morning. You know, one of the things, there was a guy in town yesterday at the city council meeting who was talking about hunger and all that, and I mean all the whining he was doing. Called Sergeant, what does he call himself? Sergeant Push Up or something like that. I wanna listen as I take these calls, talk a little bit about his presentation. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning. Oh man, I forgot all about that. I gotta get on that today. Okay, I'll get on it. All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I need to get in since I'm the only active member, I guess, that's still on the board that Donald was the head of forever.
No, it wasn't.
Well, not forever, but for a little while.
Yeah.
Can we bring you back?
No, because it's non-functional.
Okay, well then I can't.
If we had a mayor who didn't agree with what the duties were, and I know we definitely won't now, so there's no need to even be there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
How are you?
Good.
I bet you that burial tax is still in place though.
It is. Yeah, we got to get the money.
Yeah. Interment fee is not a tax; it's an interment fee.
Yeah.
And all funeral homes pay it.
Yeah. Even if they bury you illegally.
No, you can't bury you illegally.
Oh.
Well, they did. They did one. Yeah.
When George Wallace was running for president, specifically, and he used to talk about communism. Alabama is probably, maybe let's isolate on Montgomery. Montgomery is probably the most socialist place on the planet. Everybody here, their entitlements, they all work for the government of some kind, and there's no check.
Although that money that they're getting from the government is money that they put into it. So I mean, what's the big deal about working for the government?
That's just part of it.
Okay.
You know, that's just part of it. You know, the last government job I had, they tried to kill me.
But no, it wasn't personal.
You know, vicariously though, I do work for the government as long as I live here in the government.
That's right.
But,
And
you know, that's not why I called. The reason I called, Kevin, is back to what you were saying about the president. You know, I just been in a real combat mood lately.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize that we gave away secrets, all kinds of secrets, and opened up the door for even more terrorism that might end up here in Alabama? Sunday morning, CBS, they had a guy on there who created a drone he called the kamikaze that they could send out and they don't expect to get it back and destroy tanks. They wouldn't tell you who he was or where it was made. Well, Biden, now he might have did this specifically to let it out, has targeted Lockheed Martin in Troy for terrorism, all kinds of stuff. You know, that information should be somewhat classified, the fact that we're building those missiles down. But, you know, with the 24-hour news cycle, I like to go back to when we went into Somalia, the Navy SEALs, and CBS was waiting for them on the beach and broadcast that. You know, when I hear Mike Durant, you know, I'm surprised he doesn't bring it up, you know, because he was part of the Black Hawk Down. That was during that time period. A lot of it, I think, he might not be old enough for that. But, you know, look what we're doing with this 24-hour news circle. All these so-called experts, they go in vivo, in vitro, and none of them have done anything. Discuss this stuff all day long on radio. And a lot of times it's like Steve was saying, misinformation. But, you know, the new term and the new definition of censorship is disinformation and distortion.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. You know, I mean, you just think about it. Why don't we give ourselves a break?
Yeah.
Regroup, debrief, and come back and be a smarter country, because we're actually kind of stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and as far as the immigrants go, as far as I'm concerned, those people are indigenous Americans, majority of them, and they're running from some of the same that Putin is running out of Ukraine. They control Central America. Now, if you want to dig into that, go for it. I could write it for you, but it just pisses people off.
Yeah.
But, you know, some things I wonder, why do I even bring it up? Because who am I talking to? People don't understand anyway. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Something just popped up on my screen a few minutes ago. Martin's Restaurant lost their business license. That's one of the best restaurants in Montgomery. Evidently, they said somebody ain't been paying taxes with it. We need to get a GoFundMe for them, because that's one of the best restaurants in town. Been here forever.
They weren't paying their taxes.
Yeah, but I mean that's what the paper says here. But I mean, we need to get a GoFundMe going for them. We need help.
They didn't pay their business.
I guess. I mean, you know, I hope it's a misnomer. Although, you know, restaurants called hell in the last couple of years because of COVID, making people close their restaurants down. I just don't understand that. I mean,
did you read the article or just the headline?
Well, I read the article too. It says right here. City workers. It said Montgomery City Council voted yesterday to strip Martin's Restaurant of its business license for failure to pay city taxes. The historic Cloverdale Meat and Three restaurant, which is a great restaurant, specialized in fried chicken, sweet tea, and other Southern staples. It's been a fixture there since the 1930s, going to state political leaders alongside neighborhood residents.
Right.
I mean, you know, and I love eating over there when I can get in. We need to get a GoFundMe going for them.
No, you need to know why they didn't pay the tax.
Well, probably because they didn't have it. I mean,
no, there's a reason. Something happened there. So that's why the city council voted on that.
Do you know?
They knew that was coming. If it goes before city council, you have the opportunity to pay it before it goes before city council. So I don't.
But they may not have the money. I don't know.
Look, I don't know what. See, if you speak on things you know, I don't know why they didn't pay the money.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So I can't say anything about that.
Right. And so we need to
In
go
other
fund
words,
it.
that is no, that is a business. And if that business did not pay their money, there's a reason they didn't pay it. And whatever that reason was, I don't know. So
I don't
I'm
know
not
either.
speaking on it. So I don't believe in just go fund me because you feel that's a business.
Well, it must be a legitimate reason why they didn't pay.
I don't know.
I don't either.
So I can't comment on
but you don't stick around and been there for 1930s doing things wrong. You don't do that.
Kevin, I don't know why they didn't pay
I don't
their
either.
business.
So we need to find out and help them out.
No. They need to run their business.
Well, in the last few years,
That's their business.
A lot of businesses been hurt in the last few years.
Kevin, there's a reason they didn't pay the money.
So we need to find out.
Now, well, that's what you do before you say, let's do a GoFundMe.
You got to get a GoFundMe for them.
You need to talk to the people there and say, well, why didn't you pay your business tax? And I'm pretty sure the city council asked that same question before they made that vote.
I mean, that's
Did you go? No.
I just found it this morning.
Look,
yeah,
there had to be a public
well, I'm pretty
comment
sure there
on
has
that
been.
first.
Right, but it said nobody showed up from the restaurant to the city council meeting.
There you go. If no one showed up from the restaurant, they don't care. So if they don't care enough to go to city council, someone should have been there to represent them.
If they knew.
So I'm not going to represent them.
Wait a minute. I'm not going to take you with me.
No.
Okay, I'm just.
And I don't think it's not our business. That's their business.
It is our business. There's business in the community.
No. Look, if you have a business, you run your business like a business.
Good morning. Who's this?
End of story.
Good morning. Who's this? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Amen. Amen. You do. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it. As a matter of fact, there's a couple other business here. Now, I ain't never heard of this business, right? Can a brother get a slice of pizza? I didn't know there's a business called that.
That's over off of Mulberry Street.
Okay, and Bayou Turkey Food Truck. They agreed to discuss and payment deals and work things out.
Right.
Okay. Can a brother get a slice of pizza?
You're gonna open up a GoFundMe for those?
I ain't never heard of them.
Okay.
But I know Martin's been in since 1930.
So what's the difference?
Because longevity
they didn't pay their
all right.
bill.
Well, the first thing we need to do is find out what we can do to help them out.
I don't know if they didn't pay their bill.
Well, must have been a reason.
I don't know.
You don't stick around business that long not paying your bill.
Hey.
Good morning.
Whosoever.
That sounds like it. I don't care what it is. That's it. Anyway, 860. Okay, here's my last question of the day. Or I got to take a break. We'll come back and answer this last question of the day because I'm so tired of hearing about it until until somebody can prove to me that this statement is true. I will not believe it. So we got to take a break and we'll come back. And Mr. Push-Up Man last night at the city council meeting sat there and exacerbated on it even more. Okay, I'm just saying somebody's going to have to prove to me that what they're saying is absolutely right because I don't believe them. Okay, so we'll be back.
By Blindster. Need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers
interesting.
custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly.
I don't know what it was.
But
Push up, man. The push up.
Just use code radio at checkout.
That guy wears the military uniform.
Yeah.
The upper 80s with a mix of sun and clouds, 20% chance of a pop-up shower or storm. So like yesterday, a lot of us stay dry, but that chance is there. It will be humid tonight. It's humid again.
It's an interesting
Down into
subject.
the 60s for Thursday, 90 sun and clouds.
You're gonna find it interesting.
Yeah, a small threat on Friday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for
As I
News
said
Radio
before,
1440.
This thing keeps the ice and water cold for 5 days.
It's better at Brubaker on News Radio.
Costs $20 that time. Walmart. Hate to go over there, but they're the only one guy. I mean, I brought this in Saturday, and it's still cold, ice cold. Call Bubba. Normally anything called Bubba, I don't buy it, but yeah.
Bubba. That was a lot of water.
Yeah, but I mean, that stays cold for 5 days.
This is major
You know, you get lost in the woods for 5 days, you got some water. And they ain't found you by then, you up the creek anyway.
Cold water.
Yeah.
Water in the canteen lasts anyway.
Well, yeah, but they ain't cold, won't stay cold. Well, the Mercy won't stay cold. And then sometimes you got to put that canteen in the river and get water. We have these pills that you put into the thing that supposedly make the water palatable. I don't know if it did all the time. Sometimes you get sick. Yeah. Sometimes you just had to drink it.
Those were the days.
Those
Military
were the
man.
Those were the days.
Out there in the woods. Survival skills. Learn how to survive.
Grandparents, are you watching?
And you know what we find is that training is actually a hell of a lot harder than the actual process of going through some of that stuff.
Preparation.
Yeah. 80-pound rucksack,
The first transgender public school.
20-pound parachute, 15-pound man, rifle.
You were ready.
Boots.
You never know. You never know
That's
when
true.
you actually.
But when you wearing all that stuff on your little body, you don't care if the plane go down. Just get it off me.
What are we doing here?
Run.
Who let this happen?
There's the advantage of being an officer. You don't have to go through all.
Oh no, they got to go through the same thing. Yeah, you're a jumper. You're gonna go through the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you know. Yeah, you. And right now, when we first joined, officers got double the pay than enlisted men did. But sooner or later, I guess enough NCOs and enough people started whining. Wait a minute, when you up in the air, when you coming down, you equal to everybody else. Everybody should get the same pay. You put your butt on the line just like officers do. So they finally brought it to everybody get the same pay, strictly for jumping. And I joined at $55 extra a month. Then it went to 110. When is it going up yet? It need to go up. I mean, hell, when you're a private making $200-something a month and you got extra 110 to jump, oh yeah, yeah. Let me do that. I think when I joined, I got $300-something a month. But at the time, they paid me a little bit. I had a place to stay. So I was chasing women money. And not chasing too much though.
TMI.
No, I'm just saying, you ain't got a whole lot of chasing you can do with that little money. I can't believe the guys got married on that little money. The guys would get married. Really? Ooh.
You got extra when you were married, didn't you?
Yeah, it was not enough to get married for. But they got a little extra when they went to work getting married for. Now, if you got an extra $500 a month or something, okay. But it's become $110.
That was back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. When the rent was $50. When the rent was $50 a month.
Well, that's been a while.
Yeah.
Testing, including PSA and testosterone
Yeah, I
tests.
remember
Give
those
the
days.
guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663.
Back in 1977,
That's
76, 77.
440-3663. Or go to Montgomery Men's Health.
$50 a month for rent.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the
Was
draw.
rent that cheap in
Mark
77?
Levin
Yeah.
this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Got in the high cotton and went over to Southern Meadows for $85 a month.
Okay, we're back. Before I take this one call and get to my final subject of the hour. Good morning. Who is this? That wasn't my computer. That was you. I don't care what you say. It sounded just like you. I don't care what you say. It was you. I'm gonna figure a way to ban you one of these days. Because nobody's got a voice like you. But anyway, here's my. So yesterday I'm looking at city council, enjoying my whatever I was eating at the time, and then here comes Sergeant Push-Up and extolling the tragedy of hunger. So can anybody in this town tell me anybody that does not have any food in their house? We give more food stamps than we give cash in America. We got pantries. We got churches giving buku. As a matter of fact, we collect so much food sometimes it ends up being thrown away because not enough people come and get it. So Can somebody tell me somebody in this city that's hungry? And I'm gonna take them some food. I just want to know who's hungry. Now, just because you don't have what you want to eat, don't mean that you don't have food to eat. So we use that. So I've got 860-1440. Is there anybody in this city that is hungry?
Let me answer this.
Yes.
Who was he representing?
Well, I guess he must have been representing people in Montgomery. That's where he was. He was in Montgomery.
No, I'm saying, was he representing a nonprofit?
I think it's his thing.
Okay,
He's running, and but again,
he's running for what?
Running as a representative to support hungry kids and bullied kids.
Okay.
I'm tired of hearing that. This ain't but one thing. There ain't but one thing that gets rid of a bully. All this running and talking and cyberbullying. That's the biggest crock I ever heard. First of all, if you can read what the guy wrote, both of y'all are doing pretty good. Okay, because most folks can't even read right anyway nowadays.
But that's another subject.
We're turning our kids into wusses. Yeah. He wrote on Facebook that I was ugly. But truth hurts.
Well,
I mean, just give me a break. But I just want to. Who's hungry in Montgomery?
That's cyberbullying. That's another thing. That's where young kids are. That's a virtual world, Barry. Okay, and if you live in that virtual world,
but if you can read,
you can have real pain.
But if you can read what they wrote, I'm saying the school's doing their job.
Well, and then there are people who have even committed suicide because of what was said online, and their classmates saw it. But then there have been pictures that have
we have softened our kids too much.
That's because
we've softened them up too much.
They put too much emphasis on a virtual world.
Right. Words. What's the thing? I know your mother told you the same thing. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt me.
Yeah, names will never hurt me. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm just,
but we're talking about a different generation with a different form of entertainment. I remember when I used to go outside to play. It's hard to find kids who go outside to play.
That's true.
Punishment was going to your room.
Good morning. Who's this? That's the truth. Yes. Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes.
You can find out McDonald's. Maybe you can go down there and pay that tax bill for them people, you know.
Depends on how much it is. Well, no, I can set a GoFundMe. I can get a GoFundMe set up for them. Which one?
And I was raised on that, but that's the biggest lie in the world. And I hope people stop saying that.
Well, they don't physically hurt you. I mean, they don't physically hurt you. Yeah. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Only if you let it. But only if you let it. Only if you hurt you.
Somebody raising somebody else's child, or you shall raise somebody else's child. And believe me, wish them a happy Mother's Day.
All right. When is Mother's Day anyway? When is Mother's Day? Oh, this comes. Okay.
I have met 10 just this year, and they said nobody never wished me a happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
All right.
Include them.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. Good morning. Who's this? You got anything else you want to say? Okay, since you're there. I'm still waiting for the first person to call me on this show, tell me who's hungry in Montgomery. I just want to know.
Really, that.
Do you know somebody that's hungry?
In a way, that's a non-issue. I think it's a person who came before city council.
But we always hear about the food.
No. They have a perception of a problem, and that's their perspective. That's their point of view. now, because you don't know it. Maybe he knows someone. I don't know. But I know there are a lot of places that give
I haven't
food
met
away.
anybody that knows anybody in this city that's hungry.
Well, I agree.
I mean,
And I do agree with you on this point. There are a lot of places that give food away. Okay.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we even have a place that collects the food that places give away.
Good morning. Who's this?
Called a food bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
There you go. He told you he was hungry.
You ain't hungry.
He's hungry.
You greedy. Anyway, my time is. Yeah. We ain't talking about taking you to the restaurant. Because if you're hungry, you don't get to tell me where to take you. Okay.
Well, you asked the question.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You might need to rephrase that question.
If you're hungry.
You just got a caller.
Right.
A caller said he was hungry, and he took it.
Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, my time is up. Thank all of you for yours. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Donald, thank you for entertaining me this morning.
Oh, yes, it's very entertaining.
And thank Carlton Avery for coming by and checking with us and see what's going on. And hopefully we'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, Catholic Thursday. Yeah, we're going to talk about something. I don't know.
Radio 1440.
Hey, if tomorrow is Catholic Thursday, ask them what they think about Marjorie Taylor Greene's statement.
What'd she say?
She said the church was being taken over by Satan. She's got a big rift. She's got a rift between conservative, ultra conservative Catholics now. They're split on that. You know, they want to support her, but some of them support her and some of them don't. So it's interesting to see which way they're going with what she said, because she's made the statement that the reason she's not